Welcome to the Exploding Heads Horror Movie Podcast, episode number 116.
Coming in hot.
Okay, here's a story. This is why. I had the other day, I came downstairs, I'm arranging things in this room, and I was so fucked up. Something else happened. I forgot what happened prior to this. I was in a bad mood about something. I forgot what it was, but I came down the stairs, and I came in my fucking basement down here, and I look, and I had recently put this box with the microphone and everything in it high up on this thing, so none of the cats could get it. Well, I came down, and I literally saw the box on the ground. The microphone was thrown across the fucking room, and there's a big dent on the fucking top, on the grid part, the covering of the mic, bashed in. So I brought it in here.
Jessica.
She got a temper, that girl, right? He's like an old man. What the fuck?
You and your podcast.
It was Irene. Got to pick up the odor.
It's cleaning day. I forgot to pick up the odor.
Sunday morning. It is cleaning day. That's right. But anyway, I came over here. Now I'm bugging the fuck out. And I'm like, okay, I am going to have to do a test before I record again. So I came over here. I sat right here. I plugged everything in. I used my QuickTime WordPad, whatever the fuck it is, and I did a bunch of tests. And I started playing around with the volumes. And I noticed that I come in kind of low and maybe not as clear and pristine as Christian does, especially. So I said, maybe if I play around with these little things, this here, what you hear now, is what I determined on playback is to be my best sound. But do you guys think it's too loud?
No, not now. Now it's perfect.
Okay.
Sorry, what were you going to say, Brandon?
No, I think it was just it wasn't going to be a joke. It was just more of the, all right, like you came in hot. But I actually like this sound better. I was thinking that too when I saw somebody post the video of us. And I'm saying to myself, man, Christian and Dave both come in louder than I do. But I think I think it's my speech. I don't think it's that I don't come in loud enough. I think it's the way
it's not my sound editing.
I think I have a speech impediment. I was watching myself talk, and I'm like, I don't open my mouth when I talk.
Before you had to go, apples and oranges, apples and oranges, apples and oranges. She says seashells at the seashore.
Red leather, yellow leather.
You got to exercise that mouth.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Dave, take out Junior. I want to do my exercises.
It goes right to Junior.
Sorry. I don't know why it goes right to Junior.
I don't either. Poor Junior.
I don't know why. It goes right to Junior.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. That's amazing.
Cock on the mind.
Cock on the mind. Cock. Absolutely.
1 week down of my first week of dieting. I thought I'd bring it up since our group chat has become a diet and exercise chat.
Our chat becomes everything but horror someday. How did your first week go?
4 pounds lost.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I hit the scale. Remember, I probably brought this up on the show last year, but in October, I saw a weight that I never wanted to see. So I started doing it, and by Christmas, I was great. And then probably till about February, I kept this good diet going and everything like that, like just eating the right foods. I have gained so much weight now. The number I see on the scale is higher than it was the time I saw it in October. I can't believe it.
No, I've been really high. I'm about 47 pounds higher than I was about 8 years ago.
47. And Dave talks about his ideal weight being he was like 138. I go 138. I haven't seen 138 since I was like 10.
I'd be on hospice if I was 138. I was 148 at my lowest, but honestly, right now, I think 160 would be my ideal weight. I don't think I could All
We
right.
are back. We are back, patrons. Okay, after that little snafu, hopefully we can get through the rest of the show, but we do have to get to the show. This is a fact. So, Silence of the Lambs, the Hannibal trilogy. Obviously, this was picked by Christine Straw, by the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christine. I got a Black Phillip here, Brandon. That stands
Did you
up.
get yours yet, B? Because I know you were off the internet. She was trying to reach you. She said in the chat the other day. So
No BP.
okay, well it's coming. And someone else even messaged me saying if she's not getting it for you, that they want it.
I feel so
everybody,
guilty now.
it doesn't matter. No, people.
should.
That's what the bottom line is. People want to do it. So you work it out with Christine, and if not, then I gotta go do this way. Either way, we're doing the Hannibal trilogy with Anthony Hopkins. We're not doing Manhunter, as some people may have.
Or Hannibal Rising.
Or Hannibal Rising. I think that we should do Hannibal Rising and Manhunter as a fucking double feature option on our thing.
I watched Hannibal Rising. Just to say that I watched it, and I was going to watch Manhunter. I thought I had it in my collection. I couldn't find it. I think it was on DVD, and it must be in my old stack or something like that. I can't find it anywhere.
That was your nickname in high school, right?
Manhunter.
How about Hannibal Rising? Do you remember this guy going, "Hey, Japanese"?
Oh,
yes or no?
Yeah,
That's
well,
all I
because I
remember
just
about
watched
that
it.
movie.
I just watched it, but
I never saw it.
So
I
here's
saw
the
the first
thing.
half hour and liked it.
I'll talk about this in a nutshell. So I went to the theater to watch it way back when, fell asleep, woke up at the end, and said, "Wow, that first half hour was brutal." Rewatched it now and said, "You know what? The movie looks gorgeous. The cinematographer in it and the editing, cinematographer. I don't fucking know what. I can start Brandon laughing. I'm like, I'm not going to fall victim to this again. And the editing and everything else, it looked great. But there's something about it. I don't know if it's the casting of Hannibal himself. Something doesn't work. It drags. It's way too long for its own good. But it's shockingly better than what I think a lot of people and what the IMDb rating would lead you to believe. So it's worth checking out if you haven't seen it.
Let's put it as a thing. You guys want to try that? Hannibal, Hannibal Rising and Red Dragon. The other two will be
Manhunter.
Yeah, pardon me, Manhunter. So anyway, we better get into it because we're on a time crunch here. Okay, B, we're ready if and when you are.
Who's this?
Poor guy, he's even having trouble pulling up the. Who is that?
That's B doing research every show.
He's like Stevie Wonder, but he's not blind. He's going. B Wonder.
He's
What's the matter?
his head again.
My mic's messed up. It's slow again. I could tell.
You're back up now.
Jesus Christ.
That's okay. You're okay. Try it.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
Man.
Clear your mind and get happy. We're going to talk about your favorite.
All right. Silence of the Lambs. The Silence of the Lambs from 1991, directed by Jonathan Demme. A young FBI cadet must receive the help of incarcerated and manipulative cannibal killer to help catch another serial killer, a madman who skins his victims.
You sounded
what I
great,
noticed?
and that sounded
You
great.
You did sound great. You know what I noticed about this trilogy? Each one of them has a different composer, and they're all highly regarded composers. 3 different movies, 3 different composers.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
But one of them I find nowhere near as good as the other two.
And
Are you talking
even-
about one
even
from
the-
the second?
Yeah,
Okay.
Hannibal's composition I really don't care for.
Maybe not the composition itself, but the composer is highly regarded. All
Yeah.
3 of them are.
only certain scenes in Hannibal, which we'll get to, because I agree, Brandon. I'm like, why did they put this classical music here? It's not fitting, but we'll get to it. But because
We'll
I
get
actually
to
quite like Hannibal, I think I'll probably be the coming in the highest on that one. But anyway,
Howard Shore.
Howard Shore. This composition's epic.
he's a David Cronenberg regular.
Absolutely. Yep.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah.
for Howard Shore. Yeah.
Oh, I was like, when did Cronenberg die?
Yeah, man, are you kidding me? Christian wouldn't be here. Fucking
I mean,
head.
his career died a while ago, but
It would be like when Kennedy got killed in fucking
it'd be like Kennedy.
in the United States. What? Sorry, David Cronenberg.
Right now,
I think that's his son's name is Brandon.
I know, because I was looking at Brandon. I said Brandon Cronenberg too. I know that is his son's name. Have you seen his new movie? Let's stop. Sounds of the Lambs. There's no time tonight. Sorry, folks. Today. What a fucking movie. How's that? What a fucking horror classic. And yes, this is the most horrific of all the three. So if you want to say that this isn't horror, you may as well not even watch fucking Red Dragon and Hannibal, because this to me is the most horror of them all. And
without a doubt, this one, then Red Dragon, then Hannibal. Hannibal's not a horror film.
Oh, I disagree. I'd say it's this one, Hannibal, then Red Dragon. But Red Dragon and Hannibal, I feel like are at par in the horror category. But I think we should be mistaking gore for horror when talking about those ones. This one is psychological and tense. Like, there are sequences in here and this was my favorite watch, by the way. I've seen this film numerous times, put it on to watch with my daughter, and this was my favorite view of the movie.
I think I'm with you.
2 out of 10.
Every view of this movie is my favorite, and even this time I watched for two things that have always bothered me, and I even did a little research about how they're developed in the book, and having watched the show, I remember how certain things were played out in the show. And Silence of the Lambs actually changes one thing up completely, and then the other thing it doesn't really give you enough information on. But they're two minor things that you kind of overlook. And, I mean, it doesn't hurt the film in any way, but...
Were they answered in the extended scenes that they trimmed down?
Oh, that movie? I've never seen. I didn't know there were extended scenes.
Yeah, so I don't have the Criterion Blue, but I do have the original Blu-ray. It was actually one of the first Blu-rays I bought. But it has extra features. Some of the extra features are a little annoying because they just start the movie and then they go into interview mode. So you have to watch the film, and then suddenly Jodie Foster pops up in a corner and starts explaining the character and whatever. And I'm like, oh.
At least it's not Julianne Moore.
Hey,
good idea. Good idea in theory.
What?
But to watch the movie 4 times over to see all the special features that they've done is a little annoying.
I'll say this. The two scenes in particular have to do with who killed Benjamin Raspel in Silence of the Lambs versus in the book. And then, of course, James Gunn's connection with Mrs. Littman.
Is Benjamin the head in the storage facility?
Benjamin is the head. Now, in the book and in the show, Hannibal did kill Benjamin Raspel. And the head in the trunk is actually Benjamin Raspel's lover named Klaus. And that's the reason why Klaus was killed, was because Buffalo Bill was jealous, because Buffalo Bill used to date Benjamin Raspel. That's how Hannibal met him, because he referred him. In the movie, Hannibal assures Clarice that he did not kill Benjamin Raspel, and the head is not Klaus, it's Benjamin Raspel, and you're assuming that Buffalo Bill did because they find the Death's Head moth. Death's Head moth.
I think he mentions. I think that's what he meant. I think Hannibal mentions that. I think he says it. That's the connection, right? That's what
he
they
said. I
simply
tucked him away the way I found him. Yeah. No, that's the connection. No, that makes sense. I'm just saying there's a little confusion between changing it in the book versus that. And of course, in the book versus the movie, you don't really get a connection between James Gunn and Mrs. Littman. But in the book, James Gunn worked for a company, and I believe she was a customer or something. He did a lot of work for Mrs. Littman, and that's how the connection was made between them. Because in this, at the end, when the guys are going to, when Crawford and his men are going to Calumet, which is the address of where James Gunn, a.k.a. Jack Gordon or whatever his name was, lives, she goes to
Lippman's.
She goes to Lippman's in Ohio or something. Yeah, Lipschitz.
Dr. Lipschitz.
And finds him there. So he killed her and took over the house there.
And again, because we don't go literally, what a fantastic directing done there.
Oh,
That's
boy.
great directing and great editing of how that whole sequence is constructed. They do a couple of those switcheroos here that upon rewatch, are coming. Obviously, I mean, but that are so well constructed that I was just kind of watching the movie, but also watching my daughter's reaction because I wanted to see her response to the ambulance versus the bleeding body that looks like Hannibal Lecter in the top of the elevator shaft,
Right.
and then the doorbell ring with them arriving at the house versus Clarice at the Buffalo Bill's house, excuse me, and she loved both of them. She just said, so from New Eyes, it was just a pleasure to experience it again because by seeing it multiple times now, where it's going. Obviously,
the elevator scene is so well crafted because even just paying attention to the details, when the one guy got off one shot, the Pembry got off one shot, and that's the one whose face he wears. So he dumps Pembry's body in the elevator shaft with the other guy's gun, who he hung up. So the other guy's gun is missing, and Hannibal's missing. Pembry got off one shot, so they're thinking Hannibal might be injured because of the blood coming through, and he's obviously armed because he's got the other guy's gun. So it draws the SWAT team's attention away as they clearly, get Pembry, a.k.a. Hannibal, out of there. It's so well crafted from the standpoint of, like, Hannibal really thinking everything through.
And it could be a deterrent for some people, but I thought it was actually awesome. He pulls a Jason Voorhees, Pamela Voorhees, and somehow has time to string this guy up like 20 feet in the air. And I have no problem with it because I know people have complained about that.
They shouldn't complain because they don't give us a frame of reference for time. He might have done that for fucking an hour and then started playing the games with the elevator that was leading the people off.
That's true. That's true.
If he would have started on the elevator and then gone, and then we would have had motion, then there's a legitimate beef. But we don't know the time frame. We don't know. It could happen anytime. So no bullshit. But I'll say this about the switcheroo and everything else. Two things. Number one, that's why this is a horror movie, because you would not have somebody wearing another person's face. It would something hokey, and I use hokey. I don't mean it as a negative, but that is a horror movie fucking thing that would not be done in a thriller or a fucking on one of those crime shows on NBC or anything. That is a horror thing that only works, in my opinion, in a horror movie, because if you take it
unless it's Face Off,
right, and of course that's all fucking movie, the whole thing. Even though I do love it, but that, and he did it before fucking before Saw. There's a lot of comparisons to Saw in this whole fucking franchise, and I'm gonna mention them. But he did it before fucking Jigsaw did it with pretending and all that other shit, and did it before, and much better than fucking what they claimed happened in Halloween Resurrection. But I mean, and Saw 7 for that matter, when fucking Hoffman did it. Hoffman ripped off fucking Hannibal in this movie.
No wonder Brady loves Saw so much.
See, that's it. It's all Silence of the Lambs tribute.
I love Saw.
But it's just something about the atmosphere of this film, how they introduce you to Clarice. They introduce you to all the characters.
I agree with. I'm sorry I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead, not finish. No, because I was going to say, even just the opening scene of her running the course by herself, and then there's a shot when she gets called back in to see Crawford, and she gets into an elevator, and it's all men, and they're all towering over her. It's a very interesting shot to set you up that here we are, we're getting a young cadet who's sort of like out of her element. Yeah, there are other female cadets there, but she's sort of in a world that's dominated by men.
Oh, and the whole movie you have that. You have that with the cop scene later on and everything else. And she calls him out, and I love that. But that was her idea, right? So, because the original opening scene, she said was a switcheroo where you think that there's a baby killed, and she thought it was a trick, and she thought that she didn't think that worked with the character. So she suggested. Hannibal? Pardon?
And that Hannibal with a fucking baby.
It's funny because that's what I thought she mentioned. That's why I thought maybe they switched it for that, but I think it was something. It was a training. You find out that it's a cadet training.
And a lot of attempted deception in this film, with Crawford obviously lying to Clarice about them building a serial killer profile with all the living serial killers, when clearly he wants her to get help with Buffalo Bill. Her, of course, her and Crawford, promising Plum Island.
Yeah.
Anthrax Island under the senator's guise. Yeah, I mean,
this is the complaint. And this is the minuscule complaint. I wish they would have, maybe I'm wrong, but I wish it would have been presented as that Clarice herself thought the Plum Island proposal was also legit and that Crawford was just fucking with her.
She did, I think.
Oh, she did?
No, she didn't. Oh. She actually added the Anthrax Island part to it.
You're right. Yeah.
Don't you think it would have played off better?
Because actually, it's funny that you mentioned it. When I watched it this time, I'm like, oh, so she doesn't know. And then you're right. Then I realized I forgot. Then they have that scene where he was like, "That was a nice touch," and everything else. And I've totally dropped the ball.
It's not a complaint. It's something I think I call it a complaint, but it's an observation where I think it would have played off a little bit better if she didn't know, because it adds to her innocence even more so, and being not tricked, but being manipulated a little bit by
she's not so cunning.
Especially since she's still a cadet. She's young, even though she's brilliant, and she was tricked from the opening scene. I agree. I don't mind it either.
What's to gain by doing that? Nothing, honestly.
Especially since, Crawford references that if I had told you we needed help with Buffalo Bill, he would have saw right through you. So, but that just shows, but that also is maybe like, maybe an indication of showing Clarice that she is not maybe as smart, but close to it and able to manipulate Hannibal a little bit, because he did believe.
Maybe it's a vote of confidence at that point because of prior transgressions.
Well, that's true, and plus, don't forget she says to him in the car at one point, when he calls her out, about talking to the sheriff away from the women, like, basically, you got to treat me equal. I forgot what the line was, but
I get that. Was that before or after that scene, though? If it's after, I could kind of say, you know what, maybe that's the reason.
I think that scene.
It's after in the
No, I think the scene with Crawford happened before they offered Hannibal, right? Or no? Was it after?
I don't know.
Now I don't know.
Sorry, I looked at my notes when you guys were talking. I was thinking something different, so I apologize. But
no, it's okay.
I do have a trivia question for you guys that might fit in perfectly right here.
Ooh,
Who's the only other actor and character to appear in all three of these films other than Anthony Hopkins?
Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very easy fucking trivia question. So
it's cool.
No, it's a good trivia question though.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to, because there's things I'm going to say about Red Dragon with some casting choices. But anyway, whatever. It's funny, when I first saw Barney in Red Dragon, just for a second, I thought it was a knockoff Barney. It didn't look 100% like him.
It was Barney the Purple Dinosaur.
Yeah, he was like, this is fucking
instead
weird.
of Barney Rubble. Right? It was fucking, because it happened, the first time they show him, it's just in passing. He doesn't speak a line, nothing. So I'm like, wait a minute, is that Barney? But it's so weird that the other movie only came a year after the other one. Like Hannibal was 2001 and Red Dragon was 2002. And I'm like, holy fuck, really? It's only a year later? I could be wrong on that. But anyway.
How about Miggs pulling the old Spider-Man on Clarice?
That's what I call it. Oh, yes, it is the web.
That's crazy.
Spider-Man! Oh, it's Spider-Man!
Do I bring her out right now? Hey, Shadikadash, Mama cunt. That's what you knew it had to come out in the show.
I myself cannot.
Oh, I myself cannot.
I know. Is that a compliment? I don't know.
Miggs, you stupid. What does he call him? You stupid son of a bitch.
You stupid motherfucker.
Now, here's that scene after Spider-Man and the call out of Miggs. For years, I thought that the other guy in the stall that starts going, I always thought he was going, Hannibal the Cannibal, Hannibal the Cannibal. But apparently, you know what I'm talking about, right, B?
Yeah, isn't he saying Hannibal the Cannibal?
I had the subs on, and this is what it said. It said that he says, hold on.
Hannibal the comedian. Hannibal the comedian.
Wait a minute.
Hannibal verse. Hannibal verse.
Son of a bitch, where is it? That's the reason. I'll find it. But it says I'm gonna kill him, on the subtitles when the guy.
Really?
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna. But I always thought he was saying, and I always thought it was funny but cool at the same time, like he's just rooting him on. Hannibal the Cannibal. Hannibal the Cannibal. You know.
I 100%. I thought it was Hannibal the Cannibal.
Right. Well, I don't know. The subtitles say I'm gonna kill him, so I don't know. We'll never know.
Actually, this time mine says I am cannibal. I am cannibal.
Are you serious?
I am cannibal.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hannibal. Hannibal Lecter.
I love that though when he calls her back and he like basically apologizes for his behavior and then extends.
I would never do that to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I should have wrote down some of these lines, but then he extends her the clue to the yourself storage.
Yes,
that part's great, and that obviously gets us to the next point. But just again, to lead up to that scene, the whole, because again, one thing they tell you when you're writing a script and everything else is how you're talking about a character and building upon this character before you even see him or her or whatever it may be, and how that builds up this anticipation. And this movie does it amazingly, where we already know about Hannibal. Then we go to the asylum and we hear about him and how you have to put this in there and that in there, and some of the things that he's done in the past. And I don't know if she sees the video of the nurse being attacked, or if that's in a different one. I might be confusing it.
Yeah, but that's in Dragon, I think.
There's build-up.
Yeah.
There's some build-up there, and then she goes in and meets Barney, and she's
Hannibal.
just stick to the right, and then she walks down that pathway, and it's so tense.
Yes.
Just the way that they constructed that scene is great. And again, for whatever reason, I guess Jonathan Demme and Anthony Hopkins talked to what would you want to be doing when she walks up to you, and he says, "I just want to be standing there." And that the way
that was his choice.
Yeah, and then he's just standing there waiting for her. It's just
we know what standing is, but thank you for demonstrating. He stood up like, this is standing, by the way.
The manner in which he was standing.
Chris was like, wait, just for the patrons who don't know what standing is.
That's what he chose to illustrate. That's standing. Of all the
you couldn't see my fucking face. I was doing the Hannibal face, you fucking skunks.
Yeah, but you were out of frame. So
that's what I said. I stood up. Okay, so now I'll stand in frame, you fuck.
You're a tiny Hannibal. No, it's a great scene, and also the chemistry between the characters, and that's my biggest drawback of Hannibal as my least favorite of the three, because even in Red Dragon, they reestablish a chemistry between Hannibal and his sort of rivals, but nothing rivals Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins. It's brilliant. So when you watch it back to back with Hannibal, I'm not saying Hannibal's a bad film by any means. I still really enjoy it, Julianne Moore is a great actress, but there's such a drop off in the connection, but the chemistry, the play off of each other.
I'm forgiving of it based on the situation and
the dialogue too. Yeah, I mean here. Yeah.
They're three separate films, too. I think they do, although they're part of the trilogy, I think they do a great job of kind of giving each film its own kind of identity as well.
But, man, the back and forth just with Hannibal and Clarice, though, and this one is just, getting to know her. And I don't know about you guys, but since I watched this film, I've been walking around the house every 2 seconds to my dad going, "Dad, quid pro quo. Quid pro quo, Daddy."
I thought you were going to say with your cock strapped behind your ass. Like,
no, he's been doing that. I've just been saying quid pro quo.
Yeah. Play Goodbye Horses all day long. Which is going to be playing throughout this whole thing.
Again, you know what? I didn't realize. I don't know why this was, but that scene is so much later in the film than I always thought it was.
Yeah.
Quid pro quo? It's their...
The tucking.
Yeah.
Willie tuck time, I call it. Willie tuck time, and I don't care. I always thought that was like halfway into the movie. That's like the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's in the climax. Absolutely. Yeah.
And what perfect casting for Buffalo Bill. He often gets forgotten. Like, not the character, but the fucking actor. Like, he is phenomenal.
Ted Levine is a great actor. I mean, he was great in The Hills Have Eyes remake. He was fantastic on Monk. He's great in everything he does.
He's Candy Cane, right?
Speaking of that.
Candy Cane. He's the voice of Candy Cane.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
Yeah.
Let me just throw something in here. The Yourself garage scene. Okay, remember when she figures out the Yourself and she goes to the place, and I found it funny that the place is just sitting there since the 80s because the guy rented it for 10 years, 70 to 80, and then don't they auction those things off eventually? They just left everything there for free forever. I thought that was funny.
They should have put in a Storage Wars clip. Yep.
Oh,
I'll take it.
Yep. Yeah, give me that head. Yeah. So anyway, it's sitting there since the 80s, okay? And then the guy cracks it open, and they get the fucking thing open, and using the, what do you call it? The
car jack.
Jack, okay. So they open the fucking thing up, and then you see Clarice sliding under the thing, and she cuts herself on a nail. And the first thing that came to me was, do you think that it was a rusty nail?
Wow. All that lead up for that.
It was a B joke. I couldn't wait to get to it.
Awesome. Oh God.
Anyway, sorry, but back to James Gumb.
His murder van though, and that whole sequence there is fucking creepy, and the way the music swells, where he's with the couch and trying to get the couch into the van, and with the help. Another fantastic sequence.
Yeah.
And another reason why my daughter doesn't trust any van. Every time she sees a van like that, we call it a murder van.
I'm so glad you mentioned your daughter, because I was going to question you. Because I watched this last year for summer series with my daughter, and I told her, see that? That is why you don't fucking do that. And if you see somebody that wants help and they say get into the bed, what are you gonna do? She says, I'm not gonna help.
I say just don't help anybody.
You let him get in the back, and then you push him in, and then you kill him and skin him.
Yeah,
if you want to, yes. There's not enough female serial killers. You're right.
Is she a great big fat person?
Have you always noticed? And again, I got to admit, I think this. I'm assuming this is my first time noticing it because I don't remember before. But the Nazi propaganda stuff in his house, it's kind of subtly there.
And then you notice it, and it's all over the place.
It's all fucking over the place.
Bedspread, there's posters. I'm like,
his
of course.
Bedspread is like the symbol, the swastika, and then there's actually posters up about it as well, all through his house. Yeah,
I think I notice it every time I watch it, but I forget it in terms of like identifying the character, because the character, I'm like, oh my God, he's just some crazy guy who's got severe body dysmorphia, thinks he's a transvestite, and of course they just got to throw in that he hates Jews.
Maybe it was Littman's. Maybe he inherited from Littman's.
Yeah, Mrs. Littman, the sweet old lady who liked to sew and go to Nazi rallies.
Yes, she was a closet Nazi.
Dude, and you brought it up. Look, them showing like the police officer flayed and spread out like a very much like a butterfly, and them showing Mrs. Littman, and then showing the Willie Tuck dance, and then these scenes are meant to horrify you. You take these scenes out, this is a straight up thriller. Fine. But these scenes are thrown for the intention of being horrific and scaring people. So to question this as a horror film, I totally agree with you. I have no problem now at this point in time calling this a horror film.
He's got a skin suit hanging on a rack, and we see him actually putting it under. My daughter's like, "Is that skin?" I'm like, "Yep." When he's like actually putting it through the sewing machine, and man,
you see the almost finished suit at the end, seeing the bodies of the victims when they're all like mush and goo coming out, and Mrs. Littman's goo, and it's just, there's a lot of horrific imagery in this.
It walks the fine line of thriller and horror, and I can understand because it was upper crust, quote unquote, that they were trying to push the thriller route when it was going for the Academy Awards. But as Brandon just illustrated in all those sequences, that is meant to horrify, and that goes above and beyond what your standard thriller typically does. Maybe not a thriller nowadays, but there's a atmosphere and like tension that they build throughout this movie, and it definitely falls into the realm of horror. And it's about a cannibal as well, and a serial killer.
There's no question it's horror, and I'm surprised that horror fans themselves got duped enough to believe because of the Academy and because of marketing that it's not horror. That's what's shocking to me, and I won't go on a whole thing. It's the most horror of the three. I mean, I don't know.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
And even fucking Manhunter, all of them. It's the most horror.
Look, I was a little controversial when I did the 22 Shots 1986 show with them. I had was Manhunter 86 or was that 82?
86.
No.
86. I had that as my number one film of 86. Maybe it's not hard. That is definitely more. It definitely is a little bit lighter on the hard, but I love that film too because I love anything dealing with Hannibal and with I love the Red Dragon story. So seeing the original version of it told on screen was awesome, and I personally love that film. But you're right. This is the most horror, and I think the three of these films definitely all have moments where they're trying to horrify you. So I have no problem classifying this as a horror trilogy. And it's a lot smarter, a lot better acted, a lot, classier.
Dialogue.
Yeah, a lot classier, I'm sorry, than a lot of horror films. It just is. I mean, whether they intended to make a horror film or not, they did. So I don't care. I don't care even if
no. Well, that's why people passed on it. That's why fucking the first director wasn't going to be Demi. It was going to be because I just watched. I have the Criterion Blue.
Yeah.
Watching some of. I mean, there's a bunch of extras, and I was watching some of that stuff this morning. And geez, who was the first director supposed to be? Oh, Ned Beatty or something like that.
Ned Beatty squealed like a pig.
Yeah, maybe not Ned. Maybe the other Beatty.
Poor Ned Beatty, eh? Every time
Warren Beatty?
No, Gene Hackman. I always confuse him because of the Superman movies. Gene Hackman was supposed to direct fucking this movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I remember hearing that now.
After he got the script and everything else, he fucking passed. Well, this is much too violent for me. He says, I'm not going to do it. And then a similar thing happened with the original actor who was going to portray Hannibal, which was what's his name? Sean Connery. He was going to do it, and he read the script, and he ended up passing.
Imagine that. She's like, she said I could smell my cut. I myself cannot. It's just like
Our Clarice would sound too similar.
Demi wanted him just for the mainstream appeal. He says, for a mainstream movie, Connery would have been the best choice. He goes, but when I did the auditions, he goes, from a filmmaking standpoint and casting the best people, I wanted Hopkins, but I wanted Connery just for the mainstream appeal more. And he goes, and every actor was trying to get this job, just like with fucking Jodie Foster's part, who she ended up being second choice, and she had to go back and get it because Michelle Pfeiffer ended up fucking doing something else. But the same thing happened with the actor, with Connery. He didn't want it. Everybody else wanted it. He was the only guy that passed because he said it was just too much for him. So the fact that the director and the fucking lead walked out, that shows to me that's a horror movie and they're too fucking highbrow for it.
There's not enough wife slapping in it for Connery?
No.
Sorry.
That stuck Irish pig.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking A. Jack Crawford sent a trainee to me. I fucking love it, dude. That dialogue and that scene, their first meet and everything, and then the quid pro quo later on, ranks right up there with the dialogue from Psycho, with the interaction between fucking Norman Bates and initially Marion Crane, and then the conversation later that he has with Arbogast and Sam Loomis, which I love. I love all those interactions. It's the same thing.
Arbogast's tap dance. Before Gene Kelly's down the stairs.
Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire. Yes.
Fred Astaire. Oh, brilliant, Dave. Now you got to post that scene with the tagline, Fred Astaire. And you got to have some Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers music playing in the background.
Holy fuck. Fred Astaire.
Oh, shit. Oh, you were doing so well. I do it. I see the thing.
No, you're doing so well.
I can't because I'll do it for
trust. Yeah, it was.
You had established trust.
Courtesy, the whole thing. It's so great, and her character and what's going on with her, and the whole fucking it means so much more to me now. The last 2 times I watched it, really more than ever. Just as an adult now and watching it, when I watch it as being a younger person in my 20s, and when I see it now, the whole thing about I never knew when I was young why they really called it the Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And now it makes perfect sense. All that dissection of her and everything else, and how this really is Clarice's story.
Yeah.
More than anything, and it's just done so well.
You lose sight of the fact that Hannibal, I mean, it's well known in terms of him winning the Oscar for Best Actor, and he's only in it for 15, 16 minutes.
And even less in fucking Red Dragon.
Yeah. So it is Clarice's story, and the story of her at the cousin's sheep farm and the slaughtering and that whole story, to me, is my favorite part. When she tells that story, man, and he's like, "You will let me know when the lamb stops screaming," and when she runs back to grab the file and that finger touch. Oh yes, God, I love it. I fucking love it.
That's a directing choice there too. Like just like
Was
so
it?
like almost like well, I assume again, my wife swears by these books. It's her. She never read Hannibal Rising, but she loved the trilogy. Yeah. And she wanted me to bring that up on the show. She said she absolutely loved Red Dragon, Sons and Hannibal, and is not as forgiving of, like, she likes Hannibal the movie, but says the choices they made there were wrong choices for some of the things. But I don't know if they wrote that hand touch in the book. I would assume that's a visual directorial choice by Jonathan Demme, and it works beautifully because of the way that they keep saying he has a connection and can get into the minds of people, which you sort of see here and you get an idea of here because of their interaction and their intensity and the fact that I think Crawford says don't let him get in your mind.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the times, like, you see that played out more in Red Dragon and Hannibal.
Yeah.
But it works subtly here.
I
think
that's just
an actual physical, exactly, to draw this sort of
that's right. It's right before
parallel
they do the touch, because I mean she didn't have to go see him, so
she felt bad because of the scamming. She felt guilty for that happening.
Yeah, exactly. She already feels a connection with him. She feels bad and wants to apologize almost and just see him on its own.
Yeah.
And of course she's still directly involved with the case, but I think it's clever the way they mix in the clues that you can figure it out, like when he's talking about coveting and stuff, and you get the clue very early on that Frederica Bimmel, who was the first victim but the third one found, was the only one weighed down, and that makes perfect sense because he wouldn't want that body found because that's the body right where he lives, where he covers.
Well, here's my question. This is I didn't think about it till this time. I think that's all clever and great, and I love the way it's revealed. But after I saw it, and I never questioned it until this time, but how did Lecter know that he knew her? How would he have knowledge that they had a relationship and that he coveted what he knew? She was the third one found. Why would he have any knowledge about that? I mean, that's pivotal.
Because he's met Bill.
So because he's met Bill, do you think Bill may have just mentioned it to him?
He knows about.
I know this girl.
Well, don't forget Benjamin Raspel was Bill's lover.
Right, but how does that tie into this girl, to the victim? Why would he be aware of every person he meets in passing just because?
No, Hannibal. I don't think Hannibal doesn't know about Frederica Bimmel or that she's been weighed down. He just knows the profile of Bill, and that he began by coveting, by destroying what we see every day, what we covet every single day.
Well, are you talking about being weighed down in the water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't they say that there were some details mentioned in the papers? I've been reading the papers because he knows about Bill when she mentions him.
Yeah. You're talking about him having knowledge of the case, Dave?
No, him having knowledge that he knew the first victim.
He says that? Because I agree with Christian.
Yeah, that's why the whole thing about covets. Remember, he basically gives her the fucking. You just said it. We do what we covet, or we initially. What's the phrase that he says with covet in it? I might have written down, but whatever it is, he basically says the first person he killed is someone that he knew. That's all.
Well, he has.
How did he have that knowledge that his first victim was someone he knew?
You know how I think he has that knowledge, and I think it's Barney.
Just a profile? Oh.
I think it's Barney because you know what? He does give a lot of details and does say that he's heard about stuff. He does it in Red Dragon also.
But Barney would have no knowledge of that. Nobody knew that. The only person that knew that he we don't find out until there's that one scene with Clarice and her friend, and I forget her name, and they come to realize it.
Ardelia.
We friend what we covet, or whatever the phrase is. And then they're like, son of a bitch, he knew her. That's when they find out. So, I mean, we possess those that
he knew her, meaning Bill knew her.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that, but my question is this: how did Hannibal know that Bill knew her? That Bill knew his first victim? That's the question I have.
I think just from a psychological profile of.
That's what I said. Maybe as a profiler.
And it was in the papers that she was weighed down. You are right about that. So.
Yeah, but I don't think that.
He would have access. He would have access to that information. He seems to have knowledge of goings on when he really shouldn't, being in that isolation he's in. So that's why my theory is that Barney was probably feeding him information.
And he's acting as the psychiatrist and saying what he believes is happening, whether it be true or not. That's his profile. He's like, yeah, he would know her and whatever. I think it could simply be explained like that. If I'm getting the gist of what you're
you are
putting out, okay.
And I almost kind of answered it for myself as I was talking about. I go, maybe it's a profile thing. It's just, for whatever reason, watching it this time, that popped in. I'm like, well, wait a minute, how the fuck did he know that he knew this girl? You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, but it does make sense.
Having known Bill, having met Bill, having treated Bill's lover, I mean, he has Benjamin Raspail's head in it, which has the Death's Head moth in it. So Bill killed him, so he has a connection with Bill. He knows who he is the whole time, so he knows about him. He just likes to play the games. Yeah. Even when he gives the senator and Chilton the fake name, the Lewis friend, the fool's gold. Yeah, right. I mean, he's giving them the right information, just the wrong name. That's how Crawford and them figure it out, and they're on their way to where James Gumb lives. They figure out that it's James Gumb or Jack Gordon or one of these aliases he's using. That's why they're going to Calumet City or whatever town it is, and Clarice is in Federica's hometown, seeing her father, and then going to Mrs. Littman's.
Do you just want to grab him? Do you grab him and go, just speak like a regular person and stop with these riddles?
Oh, I love the riddles. I love the riddles because, they're so, you think like, maybe this doesn't connect, maybe it doesn't make sense, but it really does. The more you watch it, everything kind of does really make sense. And the one issue that people, I know JP has had this before, the pen.
It's not that big of a deal.
I don't think it's a big deal anymore. Here's why. What happens right before he gets the pen? Chilton gets the upper hand and comes in and says, I'm now in charge and we're going to see the senator. You're being transferred. And do you notice, like, Chilton, he's a very arrogant guy. He's so self-indulged. And so what happens is he gets so excited that he's finally in charge, because he's upset that, Clarice isn't telling him anything, that he's being kept in the dark and stuff like that. So when Chilton says to Barney, get him ready for transfer, he's so excited. I think he walks out of the cell and leaves his stuff there, and the pen gets left behind.
The pen does get left behind. That's not the issue. The issue is that JP would have is how, if Hannibal was all restrained like that, did he get the pen himself physically? How did he reach his hand out and grab it? That's what I think he's questioning, and I don't bother to go.
I don't even think it's a non-issue to me. I
always assumed that they were going to take him out of those restraints before they tied him back up again.
Within some time frame of being put in restraint, from being restrained into being switched to cuffs, whatever it may be, he was maybe able to Houdini the pen out, knowing that it would give him an opportunity. I
didn't think him all there on the rack was there for the transfer. I think that was there for, Chilton to talk to him, and then, the transfer's coming, not right away, but at some point a little bit later on, so he'd probably be taken out of his shackles.
How horrific is that mask?
Oh, I fucking love it.
I want that as my COVID mask.
Yeah,
it's only $250,000. If you're going by Barney and fucking Verger. Oh shit. Yeah, it's great. But Chilton is a fucking what an asshole when he tried to take credit at the end after all that stuff, and it was all fucking Clarice and everything else, and they're interviewing him, and he's like, fucking, well, how did you do it? And he says something like, what did he say? My unique perspective into his brain or something like that. He says, and he goes, Chilton, that's C-H-I. I'm like, get the fuck, what a fucking douche. And then you see her, she knows what the fuck he's doing. I'm like, come on, he's a fucking an asshole. I don't like him at all.
Well, you're not supposed to. That's it. An opportunist, right?
Somebody took care of him. Somebody loved him.
Yeah. Yeah, they loved him so much. Why? That's my question. Thank you. That was my only other question mark I have for the whole movie.
What does Dr. Pilcher and Clarice go out for cheeseburgers and beer?
Oh, there is a question about that. Do you think at the end of the movie that what's her name and Precious began a relationship after she fucking was abusing her for fucking?
No, she was using it. No, you saw that she was emotionally attached to it. She kept that dog for sure.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think
she was just using it, knowing how Bill felt about the dog. Yeah,
I realized what she was doing, but the dog still was crying. There was something going on there.
Well, the dog definitely hurt itself falling down the well when she pulled it down, but I don't think her intention was to hurt the dog. Just use it as leverage.
But she was correct. I agree. But later on, there she is. She came. So do you think she took her? That's her pet now. She took Precious,
or ate it. One of the two. Like
or ate it.
Or is hanging out with Gordon and fucking Muffin somewhere in doggy horror heaven.
Yeah, doggy horror.
But here was my question. That moth. Number one, if he loved it so much, why did he fucking stuff it down somebody's throat? He had to kill it first. Hopefully, if they had some mercy. Number two, they specifically said that when somebody is in the water and they're weighted and everything else, that leaves and shit are going to get into their mouth. How would somebody be able to put something in somebody's throat and then drown them in the water and have them be down there and it's not going to fucking drift out?
I don't know if it would. I don't know.
That to me is more of a stretch.
See, to me, like, if you jam something down someone's throat, I think it stays there.
Right, but it's only jammed so far down, she could see it from being right here. I mean, if it's jammed way down here...
Well, she could see it because she could see the streaks it left on the tongue.
The blackness or whatever.
She sees the black streaks on the tongue and says there's something in her throat.
And they dismiss it. See, I don't think that's a big problem because A, who cares? It's just more of a cool plot point in the movie.
I agree. It's just fun.
But B, like they're saying, like that, like you just said, that stuff could go down there, so they're just kind of dismissing it as nothing, and then they're like, no, and then they pull it out, and then they reveal it. So I see where you're going with D.
Yeah,
but
water.
And don't forget, she's not the one who's weighed down in the water. That's not Federica Bimmel.
It's still you're correct. It's still a regular drowning though. And if someone's drowned in the water and they pull them out, you would think that if they had anything in their mouth whatsoever because they drown, which really is fucking overdosing on water going down your throat, that would loosen up anything that'd be in your throat. That's just
but maybe he lodged it well enough in the throat that like no water's pushing it down or anything. It's just lodged there. So she hasn't been in the water that long.
It's not a big deal. It's just a little pin that I'm poking into the fucking balloon of this perfect movie. That's all. It's just one little thing. That and that's it. Honestly.
The other horrific. Sorry, D. I thought.
That's it. No, I'm done.
She could just be found in a shallow marsh somewhere. Because don't forget, he's just dumping her body. She's already dead, so it's not even important that he throws her in water. And even if she's water, she might just be floating and be found 30 minutes later.
Well, that's the other horrific part.
I honestly don't know. Like, if you were to kill somebody and shove, something that size into their throat, lodge it into their throat here, would it come out? Would water push it down? From a science standpoint, I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I hear it. Just something I observed watching it this time that I never put together before. I'm like, could that happen? Anyway, it's not a big deal. But I do like what we were talking about before with it being her story and how she gets rattled. She's so rattled by her interactions with Hannibal and the things that he's saying and bringing up about her past and everything else and what she has to prove and her father and everything that you could see that she's fucking up on her job and everything. She goes through that thing and bam, you're dead when they're doing the rehearsal and all that shit.
Yeah.
You see how it's affecting her mentally. It's just little things like that, like throughout the movie. Just, I don't know. She's so fucking good. The way this is written, it's just fucking amazing. And the intro to fucking Buffalo Bill's lair, the first time they see it, with that fucking shot, that sweeping shot that goes through the thing and the music playing and fucking go, dude, it's poetic. It's done so well. God. There's just so many things.
Everybody's got an introduction. Every character has got a great introduction, as I said earlier. I was just going to add, when you guys were talking about that, the other horrific part that we keep forgetting is seeing the dead skinned bodies of these ladies on slabs and whatever like that. That's horrific. Horrific. So, like, I mean, again, just an element above, especially 91, over what you would get from a typical thriller film. But what were you about to say, Brandon? You said you love, and I cut you off.
I love you. What do I love?
You heard it here first, folks.
Oh, what do I love? What was I going to say? Oh no, the way it transitions to her story with her father when she's at the funeral home and she walks into the funeral and it kind of transitions to her as a little girl. Yeah, the flashbacks and all that. And I'm glad they didn't show anything on the sheep farm.
I agree.
I'm glad because I don't think it would have. It's more nightmarish thinking about it and they couldn't recreate any screaming lambs or show her running through the woods and make it seem as desperate and horrifying as it was in the way she told it. And the way Hannibal's kind of like, what next? What became of your lamb?
Awesome.
They killed it.
Yeah, they killed it.
Did you notice that he drew her and a lamb?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great picture. I want that as a poster.
That's a good call. Yes. Yeah, that's really cool. Damn. How about Lecter? How he fucks with Miggs just because he fucks with her.
Yeah. Well, that was
right
that was the getting in the head. So that would probably be the big one in this film of him getting in the head of Miggs and makes him swallow his own tongue.
Fucking
Miggs.
Huh. That he would do that.
He was crying all day.
Yeah, it's amazing that he could. I think that's great, and he just did it because of what he did to fucking Clarice. Yeah. You know what I mean? So right off the bat, he like has a fondness for her, and he's like, "Well, I'm gonna fucking do this and this." And then later on, he says something when she goes to see him. He's like, "That." He goes, "Frankly, that's something that Miggs would say." And he
Not
says,
anymore.
Great line.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Not anymore. Awesome. That's great because she thinks she's like shutting Hannibal down, and he's like, "Fuck you, bitch, I got you."
Do they write Hannibal as like a homosexual in the books? Because you get the vibe. I don't even think it's a vibe. It feels like that's definitely what they've played it out with in the movies, except for Hannibal Rising. But because there's a girl. See, there is a girl in Hannibal Rising, but I get the vibe that he's gay.
I never thought that
in all the movies. Yeah,
well,
I don't know if it's the way he's playing the character or what.
Clarice. I always thought that he digs Clarice.
There's a connection to Clarice, but I feel like there's an underlining homosexual aspect or character trait to him. I get that, and I got that more this watch than ever before. But I think I've always found that now. I don't know if it's him doing his Lecter and that it's coming through in the way that he's portraying the character, or if it's an actual decision made. But think about the relationship he had with when we get to Hannibal. Maybe we'll talk about it more when we get to Hannibal.
Maybe we will.
Yeah. I don't know. He does like her. He's like, it would be quite nice to know you in private life, he tells her. It's fucking great. There is one thing I wanted to say which I find funny that nobody ever talks about, and it's all about the famous scene with the fucking girl and the Precious and everything he says, the fucking gets the hose again and all that shit and all those lines that are fucking just. We always hear the dialogue, the fucking dance, goodbye horses and everything. But nobody ever seems to point out, and this cracks me up every time I watch it because it's so ridiculous, when he's threatening her. And by the way, I love it's right after the woman, the senator, is on the news, and she keeps saying her name over and over again, Catherine.
And she says
somebody
it.
Points out to the other one, yes, and then he calls it after him. Like, he didn't take the bait. He didn't watch the news. He still sees it as it.
As an it.
So cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's saying that shit, and he's like, it rubs the lotion on the skin or else it gets the hose again over and over again. But the funny part is he's holding Precious, and he looks at Precious and he goes, yes, she will, Precious. She'll get the hose.
Yeah.
That's so funny. That's the best line to quote of the whole movie. I want to see a fucking meme of him saying that to the dog. She'll get the hose. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, nobody ever talks about it, but every time I see it, I fucking pop for it. I'm like, oh, that's fucking great. He's talking to the dog all happy about killing this fucking girl,
How about that infrared scene, too? I mean, what a way to end it. We were already introduced to the infrared earlier, and then they just show it there. And at the time, it was something unique before it showed up in a ton of video games, and then it was like everybody had the green filter and whatever. I think this was something that was new to that time, and it's almost like even though he knows he's been found, and whatever, he had the ability, he had the option to kill her right there. But it's almost like he admired her or wanted her, like his mind wouldn't allow him to kill her quite yet. He wanted to play with her, and that it ends up being his undoing. because by hesitating, she's able to swing around and then shoot him.
Yeah, by hearing the cocking of the gun.
Oh,
it's great. The suspense, everything going on there is just damn. And what a killer! Like, this may be my favorite fucking antagonist who speaks of all horror movies. He's that damn good. I love what's coming out of his mouth. I love his dialogue. I love the way he talks and how he fucks with people.
By far.
They did have a line in it that they cut out, thankfully. He's like, "Bad year, Clarice."
Could you imagine if they turned him into a fucking Bugs Bunny in the sequels? All of a sudden he's fucking wisecracking.
How's this for a wet dream? Clarice. He just had to throw Clarice at the end of everything.
That's what I want to say. See, that's a good comparison to the fucking Nightmare fanboys. They still love like 4 and 5 and 6. How the fuck? Look at that. Could you imagine if they did that with Hannibal, what you'd be saying? Because honestly, Hannibal is very serious in Silence of the Lambs, but he still has a sense of humor. He still has that fucking dry wit and tongue-in-cheek comments and shit. So you can't say that he's too serious to ever be joking, because he does a little bit in his own way, just like Freddy does in Nightmare 1. So could you imagine if by part fucking 3 and 4 they had him fucking talking all that shit? People would hate it. Yet they don't care that Freddy does it. I don't know, kind of funny. Anyway.
Ah, Crawford, you little meatball.
That's another thing. No Crawford in Hannibal.
That would have been a nice touch, actually. Well, you want to get to it? Does anybody have anything left to say about Silence?
B? Or maybe we should give B a fucking minute to spit out his shit.
I mean, it's so good when Lecter sits up in the ambulance. That's just, when he pulls out. Oh man, it's just so great. All the dialogue about him, eating the nurse's face and his heart rate never getting above 85, and you can kind of see that like in the way he kills the 2 officers. He's very calm, very deliberate. He still listens. He finishes the song. He sits down and finishes the song he's listening to, the composition. Yeah, the way he's almost like
when he's hitting with the billy club. It's like he's
composing with the billy club. Yeah.
That's what I thought too. I've always loved that.
Yeah.
It's like orgasmic to him. It's like
exactly.
It's been so long since I killed somebody. He's like, oh, it feels so fucking great. Oh, you know what I mean?
And I buy that he can string someone up. You can see he looks like he's in really good shape in this movie.
Yes, I know.
I buy it. Hannibal looks like a fucking little linebacker or something.
Ready when you are, Sergeant Pembry.
Mind the drawings.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
I like how they don't make those cops assholes too.
No,
I feel like if that movie was made nowadays,
they were taunting about the second dinner. So a bitch ordered a second dinner.
Yeah, but then they go.
But they weren't nice.
This could go 2 ways. We'll treat you the way you treat us. That type of thing. And the reverse. And mind in another movie, they mind your own fucking drawings, and they drop the food right on the drawings. No, he rolled them up, put them aside. Like I thought they did those characters well, because like you actually do care about them.
Son,
and then
that
they get
Bill Pembry. Talk to him.
Right. Oh, that's great.
No,
when he takes the seizure, oh my God, just brilliant stuff. Brilliant.
It is brilliant. One thing, why did when she went to the girl's house and she found the stuff behind her fucking jewelry box,
the pics, yeah.
He took all those pics out. Did you notice she didn't put them away? She set this poor girl's father. He goes to this fucking house. He's gonna walk in that room after she leaves and see these fucking Polaroids of his daughter fucking posing in fucking bra and panties.
Thank you.
Things away.
Yeah, I know. I noticed it too. That, and I noticed one thing, and I'm usually not a nitpicker, but the one thing I said is as soon as they realized what happened and they cut back, he's like, block off a 10-block radius. 10-block radius is fucking huge.
Mm-hmm.
You think that ambulance made it out of that 10-block radius? Or they didn't make the connection that he was in the ambulance? They just thought he was on foot?
Yeah,
because at that point they would think that when they know that there's a switcheroo. Now I know
maybe
that
they weren't taking chances.
There is a scene that was cut out that shows the ambulance going all wacky, and then he's driving it after. And I'm not joking. They wisely took it out, so I think you just see the ambulance there. But there was another scene of it going through in some of the outtakes that you'll see if you watch the special features.
The 10 block radius is when they think he's still in the building.
Yeah, but by blocking off a 10 block radius,
just because it's Hannibal. Why not?
Well, I know. I agree.
But he's saying, how can the ambulance get out? That's what he's saying.
10 blocks is still you think that ambulance is already beyond that?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, I'm saying a 10 block radius in city is pretty large. But
could be.
That's fine.
I never thought about that, but yeah.
It was, again, minor. I wasn't like, what? Fuck this movie, 10 blocks. But I was just, one of the things that popped up in my thought process.
It's not New York, it's Baltimore. Quid pro quo.
How about the West Virginia thing? They say that she's from West Virginia. He teases her,
Mama?
Then the first place they fly off to when they discover the third body, or the first, whichever one it was, when they fly her off and she goes in the exam, they go to West Virginia. Did you notice that? That I thought there was going to be a connection, that it's something that I forgot about. But that's remember when he calls her, when Crawford calls her and she's in the fucking class and this and that, he goes, Starling, come up here. And they go, and then he gets the phone call. A body popped up in West Virginia. We think it's one of Bill's or something. And it was after they talked to and they fly her in. And it was like literally right after finding out that she's from West Virginia.
That's why it's a cool scene where it kind of transitions to her father's funeral, because it's the same state, same sort of town.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could buy. Yeah, that's good. So I guess that's why they put that in there. It seemed like there was something going on there. I don't know. Rather slippery of you, Agent Starling. Yeah.
But they do subtly give you, maybe not so subtly, but in retrospect, but I guess at the time, Brandon brought this up at the beginning, and I think it's true. She's in a man's world, quote unquote. They reference that. They reference that with that elevator scene. They reference that when she's in with all the male cops, and they then excuse themselves because of the delicate nature of the investigation, and they go talk about it in the other room, and she's left there with the other cops who are just looking at her. So they've peppered this throughout the film, and I think it's great because it's just showing the challenges above and beyond just being a cadet and going through the schooling that she's got to deal with being in this job and environment. So another awesome thing that they do with her character. Yeah,
man. Great stuff.
I'm still thinking about that pen, though. Now, because you brought up a point, Dave, that you.
That's what I thought you were talking. When you mentioned the pen, that's what I thought was your complaint all this time. I never realized. Who gives a fuck why the guy forgot his pen? There's all kinds of shit.
I have no issue. No, I justified why he forgot his pen because of his ego, and he's so excited.
I didn't think that was the question, is what I'm saying. I don't think anybody questioned why did Chilton forget his pen. I thought the bigger question is, how did Hannibal get the pen when he was all incarcerated in that manner? That's what I thought would be the complaint.
No, you're right, but I always looked at it like he's incapacitated in that state because Chilton's in the room with him, and not because he's already set to be transferred. I think people might be. That's what I think. I think people look at, because that's how he shows up at the Senator like that. But that's how they would have to incapacitate him to even go into his cell.
But why would they incapacitate him like that? Why wouldn't he just walk to fucking Hannibal's cell and talk to him outside of it? Why go through all that fucking rigmarole?
Because it's Chilton. Because that's what he wants to be. He wants to be in his space. He wants to be in his space to tell him, hey, you got tricked, but I'm not going to trick you. You're going to give me the answers now.
You're right, and he does get his just desserts. We don't see Chilton get killed. I'm thinking about Red Dragon and how he comes up again, but that's a prequel. But I'm thinking we get that scene at the end, having an old friend for dinner is Chilton.
Great finishing line or last line of a movie.
It's probably the most iconic last line of a movie.
And if you watch that, they keep that shot on him like they had to walk. They had to walk a kilometer.
Yeah. No, Chilton. He eats Chilton. He's eating Chilton. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
He ate Chilton with chitlins, as a matter of fact. That's how he ate him. Chilton and chitlins. It's a rare dish.
The only problem is in Red Dragon, even though it's supposed to be like 10 years before, now actually they flash forward, so it's only
the way he looks.
So
I know
he's a lot older looking, but
he also looked like he also looked like he ate Chilton too.
I have no plans to call on you, Clarice. I expect you to extend me the same courtesy.
Fucking amazing.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Can you smell a cut now? 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Please. What a fucking fantastic film. Yes. Hall of Fame it. All right.
All right.
So let's jump to Manhunter. No, I'm just kidding.
Manhunter.
I'm not it's just that.
All right, Freddy, take it easy.
And I can cut it.
You went full Freddy there. I'm not on a tight schedule. You heard it, Dave, right?
Yeah. Awesome. You pointed it out. Yeah.
It's okay.
Patriots heard it too.
Christian, we love you.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I'm going to do the whole review like this.
Okay, you ready? Hannibal?
Hannibal from 2001, directed by Ridley Scott. Living in exile, Dr. Hannibal Lecter tries to reconnect with now disgraced FBI agent Clarice Starling and finds himself a target for revenge from a powerful victim.
First thing I'd like to say is, Cordell!
Yes. Good old Cordell. Yes.
Why don't you dump him in, Cordell? You could always say it was me.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman in this is fucking phenomenal. Who knew? I didn't even know it was him in the makeup.
I didn't either until you said it.
You only get,
I knew it way back when, but like the first time watch, I'm like, where's Gary Oldman?
Yeah, you only see him for 1 second in flashback. He looks like fucking Kenny G in the flashback.
That's awesome.
Great.
But that's the flashback that alludes to kind of a homosexual undertone for Lecter.
However,
yeah, you're right about that, Christian. There is homoerotic undertones.
Yeah, but he was just going there to kill him.
Yes, I mean, look, Verger was a child rapist.
So you think it was an act? Because he really comes
Verger
across...
or his father? That's what I was unclear about. I didn't know if his father was known to be diddling these people or him, because he said there's enough money to cover it up, but it was his father's business.
No, it was Mason, because he talks about how
so he's gay. He's a gay male that hooks up with fucking gay men at a regular age, and he also fucking. See, that's odd. Usually it's one or the other.
Yeah, he talks about how he's
straight or gay. You're not also a pedophile. You know what I mean?
About how he's kind of reborn, and that he
talks about Jesus and God.
Yeah,
so.
Nobody beats the Riz. The Riz.
Yeah, nobody beats the Riz. Yeah, the Riz.
Well,
the Riz. That was good.
I pose a question to both of you. Would you like this movie more if Jodie Foster reprised her role? Because the character changes.
Yes.
Yes, but I don't. But I think
I like Julianne Moore in this.
I watched, so do I, but
yeah.
I watched them back to back yesterday. And going from Silence right to fucking Hannibal.
Oh, big jump.
I thought right away, matter of fact, these are my first notes. Barney, Ridley, Zimmer, and then sound. Well, it's true. Barney, you see, I'm like, I didn't think Barney'd be back. And really, I'm shocked that Ridley Scott's the director. I did not remember that at all. And then that Hans Zimmer is involved. So I'm like, okay, great. And then the first note of the actual what I see on the film, she sounds good. That's the first thing I said. I go, you know what? It's a great transition from Foster to Julianne Moore. I thought she must have studied that part.
It's not as good as could be.
Yes.
As good as could be. I mean, yeah, it's not the same. She's not the same, but they're going to make the movie. Jodie Foster wanted nothing to do with it. She wanted to do Nim's Island, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. And then
Nell,
or back up Mel Gibson and break his career back again in Hollywood. Whatever Jodie Foster wants to do, I don't give a fuck. She didn't do this movie. So Julianne Moore did a good job. And I actually like what Ridley Scott did. It's his directing style. I don't agree with all the choices with it, and this movie works the best when it's in Italy. Holy shit, all the stuff when it's in Italy is great. Then it gets a little messy for about 20 minutes to a half hour. Then I don't mind the ending again.
Agree.
The ending seems rushed. I wish they would take a little more on it, but here's where I'm going to disagree. Even though I liked a lot of the stuff in Italy, I'm more into the characters of fucking Hannibal and Clarice than I am, what's his name? Inspector Pazzi. I'm fine with Pazzi. I think there's too much time spent with Pazzi, where I think the last act, all of a sudden we have 15 minutes of great shit. I would rather have 30. I would rather have 30 minutes of all that stuff at the end with Hannibal and Clarice and fucking
I love the Potsy stuff.
I thought Hannibal, I thought Anthony Hopkins and the actor who plays Potsy had much better chemistry than Anthony Hopkins and Julianne. I love Julianne Moore as an actress, and she's a fine actress even in this, but she's not Clarice, and it didn't work for me. But
I'm there for the Clarice character. I'm there for fucking Hannibal and Clarice. I'm not there for.
My wife says they changed the character a lot from the book. I don't know. I have to go by what she said. She did say, if there's one thing you could do, Christian, read the trilogy, which we had at one point. I was hoping to read it for the show. We couldn't find it anywhere, and by the time I ordered it in, there's no way I was getting through the 3 books by the time we had to record the show. So it will be benched. But so supposedly her character changed. No, we're talking 10 years later.
Didn't they hook up?
She's more seasoned. The ending, they're in love. And at the end, he keeps her captive for a bit, and supposedly they're kind of like in love at that point, or she
would have been awesome,
or she loves him.
I like the ending.
I don't mind the Frankenstein ending, kind of like.
I like the last 20 minutes of this film, but there's really just no. It just lacks that connection between the Clarice and the Hannibal character that the first one had, especially watching it back to back. And Julianne Moore, as great as an actress as she's always been a fucking ugly ass crier, man. She is the ugliest.
She gets her neck in it. She gets her
neck in it. Right? Yeah, no, Christian's pointing it out. It's just like she's giving birth to new veins in her neck. He's exactly right. He's like,
her neck becomes one with her chin. It is crazy, but it's true.
He knew exactly what I was talking about. And of course, this is the one that abandons.
But I love her too.
This one goes back to the books and talks about Raspel being killed by Hannibal because he was a bad flautist in the Baltimore Philharmonic. So it ignores what Silence of the Lambs did. It goes back to the book. It also adds a few scenes. It shows, of course, the nurse when he ate her tongue and stuff like that. Yeah. Whatever. I didn't think it was needed when they showed the video. No. I was like, this really didn't need to be shown. There's just too much.
I think that was a love note. I think that was like a love note, just like going back to the tapes and hearing shit that was discussed. Damn me, discussed in silence. But with Julianne Moore, I thought, okay, they're trying to connect it as best they can and continue it. But I do love that whole cat and mouse stuff in Italy. I think that's where the movie's the strongest. Yes. I don't know if it's just just the setting alone, but all of that works for me. And I like the Potsy actor. I like what they try to do. I like how he comes on and wants to take it on himself. And Clarice, of course, becomes wise to it and says, don't do this, and then ends up getting gutted. And everything else.
You know why it's great? Because Hannibal's obviously living as Dr. Fell there, but Hannibal's in his element. He's in his culture there. He's a curator at this, Dante library, and it's really showing his intelligence. He's giving lectures in multiple languages, and it's such a great backdrop. And I like Potsy, and Potsy's wife is fucking stunning. Allegra, oh my God.
And that's it. He's kind of like, they make allusions to this too. Like he's got this young wife that he wants to keep happy with money, and he's not making this money. So
absolutely,
they have all these.
It's a great tie-in with that. And when he captures him, he's like, "I'm giving serious thought to eating your wife," and the whole tying in with his family history and actually killing him in the way his ancestor was killed right outside the same building, strung up and gutted and hung.
All that's great. All that's great. And Ridley Scott's on par. The acting's on par. The atmosphere is good. It's different than Silence, but that's what I said earlier. It has its own identity, which I'm totally cool with. The reintroduction of the Clarice character is interesting because it kind of is that whole thing that Jodie Foster is saying she didn't want, with a baby involved or whatever, but that was a training thing. This is a reality and whatever, but it's thrown her right into the midst of something, and I think they do the best they can to reintroduce that character into where she is. Ray Liotta's character is interesting because you still got that misogynist fucking asshole.
Ray Liotta he's a fantastic actor, and him at the end of this film, especially when he laughs at the end when he calls her corn pone pussy again, when he's sitting at the table and his brain's exposed. That's a funny scene.
And that scene, people, they're talking about, this is why this movie, I think, gets elevated more so in the mainstream as a horror film because of the exposed brain, and it was too much for mainstream audiences at the time.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw it. I mean, I was 2021 when this came out, and it was still like, whoa.
He takes a piece of his brain out, fries it in front of them, and then serves it to him. Amazing. But I was shocked too. So I did love. I'm not the same love that I had for Silence, but I've always loved or rated this movie quite high. I do agree, Brandon, there's a little messiness with some of the music choices at the beginning, but overall the soundtrack is quite good. It just, something was mismatched at the beginning that kind of throws you off a little bit. There's some classical music playing. I think it's with Cordell sequence, one of the scenes or whatever. I like his character too, with all the screens and what's happened to him and his whole backstory. I love that, and it seemed like a good idea at the time. Carving his face up. Carving his own face up. When it comes back to him, that gets him to laugh out loud. That gets an LOL every time I watch it.
I just serve a cookie. What do you think, Cordell? I think it'll kill you.
Yeah.
Guy can't even have a fucking cookie.
I think they could have trimmed 15 minutes out of this film, and of it, and I know, see, you guys are just going to disagree.
No,
I
don't
think
take out a posse.
I think it drags when they're in Italy.
I love it.
The Clarice character and everything going on with her, her progression from then to now, and how she's not disgraced, but going through whatever she is with the FBI. And I'm into the revenge story of Verger and Hannibal, and I'm into Hannibal being on the lam. But I just think they focus too much on that. That's all. I just think it moves a little slow in Italy.
I almost wish they had taken Verger and Clarice to Italy rather than back to the States.
I almost agree.
Maybe could have lived there. Yeah.
Just because it feels so actiony, it feels like Hannibal's like an FBI agent in this one. He's wearing the earpieces, and I mean he's still Hannibal in the sense that he's a mile ahead of everyone. But him getting caught by Verger's men seems out of character because he knows that like they're following. It's almost like as if he wanted to get caught, and I was just like, I don't know. It's very actiony at certain times.
Oh, I love that scene of him trying to get the fingerprint. Giallo. The fingerprint part. Yeah, it is like a giallo, actually, but that fingerprint, him getting that thug guy that ends up getting stabbed.
Pickpocket.
And
he didn't get me. He tried to hit me in the balls.
Yeah.
But he didn't get me. Yeah. And then
he's
like,
let me help you there. And then he just lets him bleed out. And I thought, man, he is an asshole character. Just when you think he's shady, but that's an asshole move. Yeah. Like he just lets that guy bleed out.
I thought he was trying to help him, and the guy told him,
"Oh God, no!" The guy was like, he pulled his hand away, so the blood would actually shoot out even more. So
the guy is saying no, but then Potsy pulls his hand away, lets him bleed out, and then washes his hands in the fountain.
I thought he did it as a favor to fucking let the guy die because the guy asked to let me die. I thought he was trying to save him, and he says no, just let it be. And then he fucking pulled the hand away and let the guy give him a fucking death.
Oh, I didn't read it like that. I thought he was like, no, you're not going to the hospital.
You may be right. That's not the way I interpreted it.
You may be right.
You may be crazy.
How about Rock of Ages, by the way? You guys know that song Rock of Ages, Def Leppard?
Yeah. Love Rock of Ages.
In Silence of the Lambs, like I said, I had the subtitles on. When she was at the funeral and she flashed back to her father, and the whole time they're there because they're at the funeral home, it says that Rock of Ages was the music playing in the fucking funeral parlor. Isn't that funny?
Really?
It says Rock of Ages. So there might be some other song called Rock of Ages, but I just thought it was funny.
I don't think they were playing Def Leppard at Dad's funeral.
Maybe not Dad's funeral, the other funeral she was at, the girl. Maybe she was.
Okay.
I was thinking anyway. Didn't mean to sidetrack.
Maybe one of her arms was eaten off, and they're just trying to play tribute to Def Leppard or something like that. I don't know, but this movie gets
some sugar on it. It'll grow back.
This movie gets messy for me when it comes back to the States. After Italy, there's about a 20-minute segment where they're running around. And I think that's when Brandon's saying it turns action. It's like espionage and the chase sequence, and they're going through the museum, and I'm like, to get Hannibal, and then the thugs from Cordell.
I love when he touches her hair. I love when he touches her hair on the carousel. That's very reminiscent of the scene in Silence when they're touching hands. Yeah, but other than that, it's very espionage. He's wearing the earpiece. There's bands. There's guns. It's
suspenseful.
It is suspenseful. It just feels it just doesn't feel.
It feels messy. It's something that was messy with it. Something didn't work for me there, but then it gets right back on track again. Because again, with the FBI trying to get him, but also Cordell's, or not Cordell, but
Verger.
Mason.
Verger. His dudes trying to get them to feed him to the fucking pigs. Oh, that's great shit. That stuff's all great. So it gets right back on track. And then that whole sequence, like you're right, push him in and blame it on me. Like,
awesome.
What a great
Love
ending.
it.
And that scene's pretty vicious too for people for the mainstream, seeing like faces getting ripped off by man-eating pigs.
Well, you hear the screaming of the other men being killed, and Verger, they kind of linger on it for a while because he's not being killed right away. He's just laying there, and then you see the pig come up and sniff him, and you just see those giant tusks, and you're like, "Fuck, is this Justin Long?"
Yeah, and that's why I eat bacon. Fuck them. Everybody says pigs are cute. Not those pigs.
I love pigs, and pigs are the most popular animal.
I love pigs too, but I'm eating them.
I love eating them too, but they're the most popular animal in the world after cats and dogs. That's just a fact. And every other horror movie has a pig in it. That's also a fact. Pigs are fucking.
Saw had a pig furnace.
Yeah, pigs. It's always pigs. We could sit here and have a fucking show just about every horror movie that had a pig in it, and it would be about 1,000, I bet.
Motel Hell.
Dude, over and over.
Pigs.
And over. I don't miss a pig. Believe me, if there's a pig to be noticed, I see it.
I love pigs.
Everywhere. We can go on and on. We don't have the time. We can have a show. Monday we'll just talk about every movie with a pig in it. It'll be fucking a 4-hour show. I'm telling you. On and on. But I guess this is where we're differing.
You're making me crazy.
I'm there for the main event. When I buy a ticket to see Hannibal, the main event to me is fucking seeing Hannibal and seeing Clarice. And the fact that they throw in a whacked out fucking character like Mason being the way he is and the way he looks and everything, that all fits into Silence of the Lambs with me. The investigation giallo type stuff just, for me, doesn't fit into the fucking Silence of the Lambs fucking world to me.
It doesn't fit into Silence of the Lambs, but it fits into the Hannibal Lecter world.
I get that.
Which is his movie. This one is him more. It's like if Silence was Clarice, this is Hannibal's tale. And again, it's not that I don't like the stuff there. I say that the Italy stuff is so strong that once I get, and I love all this shit with Gary Oldman and whatever, that once it gets back, there's just a little bit, like I said, 15, 20 minutes that something's weird, and then it gets back on track for the main event, as you keep saying at the end.
I second what Christian's saying. I'm not saying it's bad in the States. It's just that I feel like also the Italy part is the strongest of it. But again, that's just for me not being like, I have nothing against Julianne Moore. It's a big drop off, especially watching them back to back. It's a big drop off in terms of but the chemistry, the Julianne Moore, Anthony Hopkins chemistry is just really, it doesn't work for me. And plus, you're setting it 10 years later, and this fall from grace, Clarice. I just wasn't into it as much. I don't love the fall from grace, Clarice, especially seeing Clarice being such a promising rising star in Silence, and then here she's like being blamed for other people's stupidity, like
that's what's great about it, though. See, that's why I like that character. I like that happened to her, because you would not have imagined that happening to her in the first one. So that's why she's going through some type of. Remember, they're trying to. She has to have some type of turmoil besides I'm hunting Hannibal. Otherwise, it's fucking boring. We had this internal struggle. Like the first movie, she has an internal struggle based upon her life and everything being reawoken and the silencing of the lambs and her father and everything else. In this movie, she's supposed to be our main character. Well, I guess Hannibal is too. I guess you could say that they're top billed together. But I mean, she has to have something going on besides, I'm on the lookout for Hannibal. Let's play fucking Carmen Sandiego. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. It feels too forced. I don't know. It feels like I don't know. I understand. I wasn't on board. I just wasn't on board.
They had to come up with something. They had to come up with something.
Yeah,
for her
10 years later, it can't be. She's still a flawless FBI agent. I get that, but it just feels like it's such a fall from grace. There's no Jack Crawford. They have this guy Jeffrey who's like kind of talking to her like a useless character. I'm like, come on, get on with this.
You can't do Silence of the Lambs again. They tried with the next movie, which we'll get to when we get to it. But I'm saying you can't do that type of movie again. I don't think people would want to. I don't know. I understand why they did what they did, and it's based on the book, and I get that. And let's make Hannibal a fucking an anti-hero and say that he only eats the rude and this and that, and try to give him fucking let's get a little sympathy on him. I get where they're going. They're trying to make this his movie. I mean,
the free range Rude.
Yeah. Awesome.
How long does it take those cops? Like, that was another thing. It's a small quibble again, but they cut back to those cop cars, zooming over to the house like 4 or 5 times, and I'm just like, just get there, for Christ's sake. I feel like it was
no issue with that. No issue with that because Hannibal's timing it, so he knows police response.
Yeah, it's like 15 minutes.
Yeah, he knows exactly. He leaves the phone there for Clarice to call. Like that. I kind of like because he knows her behavior. He knows how much time he has. He knows the escape. I was a little confused when she sees that boat. Is that like a second boat that Hannibal left for her to follow him if she wanted to, or is that? I didn't get why she was staring that so intently.
I think she thought he was in there. That's what I
think, and then it was just a decoy, because.
Yeah.
So I was just a little confused by that because I didn't think he was in there. I thought like maybe he took one already and got away. Clearly he did. But I was wondering if she was looking at like, oh, there's a second one. Did he leave that for me to follow him and be with him? Or am I just reading too much into it and like she just realizes, oh, that's how he got away. He used one of these boats.
That's what I think, but maybe you're onto something.
No, I
might
be overanalyzing because it is right after the time where he kisses her. And then you think he's going to cut her hand off. And it's such a great scene when he's like, above the wrist, below the wrist. This is really going to hurt. That's a great scene. I love it.
Saw again.
It's, yeah.
Once
you
again.
cut off the wrong head. At least he didn't Dr. Phil himself.
But that's it. We don't see him after that, right?
You see him on the plane.
Oh,
yeah.
Feeding
the
kid. To the kid. Yeah.
The kid, yes. Sorry, at the end. With his arm in a sling.
Top.
Yeah, wearing a tracksuit. Very not Hannibal. I know
he's on the lamb.
I know he's on the lamb. Don't ever make a lamb joke again.
So the silence of it.
Hannibal on the lamb.
I agree, Brandon. That's not Hannibal though. He would be dressed to the nines still, whether on the lamb or not.
But try it already.
But true, he's probably on a plane like a few hours later. He should be bleeding profusely from that hand.
Come on, plain clothes. Everybody on plain clothes.
Plain clothes on the lamb.
Oh, what do you wear on a plane? Dress clothes or fucking sweats?
It's Hannibal. He should have been dressed to the nines. He should have had on a 3-piece suit.
Here's my question.
And a rubber hand.
Why did she? Why did she call the? How was she able to call the police? I don't know. They make an issue. They intentionally show that fucking the phone line is fucking yanked out. In other words, don't call. Right? How come there's a second phone and they didn't pull the fucking thing out there?
I think
Why would Hannibal want her to call the cops?
He's just testing her.
Testing her for what? Why would he want to be on fucking a time schedule? If he's doing what he's doing, why not fucking pull all the phones out the wall? I don't get that part. Why give her an out? He was smart enough to pull one phone out, but the other one he's monitoring? I don't get that.
Well, was this in the movie? In the book? Yeah. This whole sequence?
Oh, in the book?
I know, because I said again, I know they both go down to South America, I believe it is. And
South America.
And he keeps her drugged for a bit, and then she's in love with him. And that's how the book ends. And this one, he just flies away by himself.
And that's what it is. It's sort of like a test for her, this second phone line. Like, oh, here's your opportunity to either, call it in to come get me, or you're in love with me and you're gonna not call.
So because he's monitoring that phone in particular, he wants to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, he wants to give her a choice. And even though she makes the choice and she'll always hunt him, and she says not in 1,000 years.
Yeah, he tries.
Yeah, he tries. He still loves her and he still won't hurt her. That I like because that ties back into like Silence of the Lambs, the way Clarice says at the end, like he won't come after me. He considered that rude. And that kind of like is almost the way it is at the end here. Like he won't hurt her because he loves her and he would consider that rude. So he takes his own hand. So I like that. I feel like that tie-in's good.
Yeah, no, I dig that.
They should have had one last scene after the plane scene of her in the police car, and then she just pulls his hand out and starts stroking it like at the end of Psycho 3.
Psycho 3. That would have been great.
And it winked at the camera. Ding.
Yeah, and it'd be another Saw thing. We can go from Gordon Lightfoot to fucking, Hannibal Light Hand or some shit. There it is. Handless Hannibal. Some shit.
A bull. He'll just be called a bull then, because he has no hand.
A bull? Oh, yeah, you're right. A bull. There you go. I like it.
Wow, that's a bad joke.
That's okay. I like that he's so smart. Mine wasn't great either. I like that he's so fucking smart that he knows everybody's onto him when they're onto him. Without we don't need an explanation. He knows Potsy's onto him. He gives him the fucking look when they're at the opera together. You know, they had that exchange at the opera, and it's like he knows when he's gonna come after him, and he knows the other guys are gonna come after him, Carlo and the fucking gang. And how about what he says to the guy about fucking you smell what? He goes, I
smell almost as bad as your brother does now.
Right.
Dude, that's a wicked slit throat in the museum. The brother, that's a deep slit throat.
Good shit.
Yeah. How about when he goes shopping for like his cooking supplies? Not only does he go to the culinary store and buy like these fancy pots and pans, but then he's in the hospital getting a bone saw.
Oh yeah.
He walks right in. I like that. He just helps himself. Yeah. And again, this is what I always tell people: if you just go matter of factly as if you're supposed to be there,
absolutely.
No one questions anything.
I agree with you.
He shuts that guy right into the freezer. He shuts the guy right in the freezer.
Yeah.
My dad's like, "What's he doing at the hospital?" I'm like, "He's getting cooking supplies. You can't cut open a skull with a butter knife. You need a bone saw."
Dad.
Shut it. And make me a sandwich and shut it.
Yeah. And make sure you wake me up on time, you fuck.
I was getting confused with those guys. I thought that was the pig wranglers. Like when Carlo and them came in, because did they also just happen to be Italian? I was confused because I guess maybe that was my problem with Italy. When all of a sudden Mason Verger had his people that were going to fucking go and secure Hannibal and bring him back. Correct?
They were in Italy.
Okay, so all Potsy had to do was sign off this and that. This is where his location is. My people are going to go get him. Then you had the pig people coming in. Now I was confused as to who was following Hannibal when the guy cut his throat. I didn't know if that was the pig wranglers or that was Mason's people.
Same people.
At the time. That was the pig people? So where the fuck are Mason's people?
What do you mean? They are the same people. The pig people are Mason's people.
Wait a minute. They are the kidnappers and they raise the pigs?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Doesn't seem right to me, but okay. I thought it should have been two different fucking.
But there's a group back in America still too.
But it's the Italian guys. It's the Italian guys. It's Carlo.
So his pig farmers just happen to be Italian. And in Italy, when all this is going down,
they're raising I think they raised the pigs in Italy.
So it was just a coincidence that all this happened to be in Italy. Okay.
Because then when they come to the States, they bring the pigs with them.
How do they bring the well, whatever. I don't know.
However you would transport a giant pig, because the pigs.
The money's not an issue with this guy.
Yeah.
True, he's fucking filthy rich. That's correct.
That house, holy shit.
Oh my, yeah.
And in the TV show, the Mason storyline is great, and of course they have the sister character, Catherine Isabel, and Michael Pitt, which is.
I wish we could do the TV show, but we just can't. The
TV show is absolutely fantastic. I really hope that they eventually bring it back and get to do Silence of the Lambs.
I know, fuck that shit. I don't want it back. People that want it back were any of the people that would have fucking wanted Halloween Resurrection. They had a perfect ending to fucking season 3. It was a perfect ending to fucking both characters. Awesome. Let it fucking be. People that want it back, people think with their fucking hearts instead of their minds, and I think that's a deterrent. I don't want a cheap fucking thing. Oh, he didn't really fall out of the cockadoodie car. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think they're dead. I don't think they're dead.
How can they not? Oh, okay. So you're right though, because I always say this to my wife: if you don't see the body, they're not dead.
Yeah.
So I will give you that, but I just think in any way they could switch that is going to be cheap, in my opinion.
And plus, they could do it in flashback, because this is sort of like the Hannibal ending, where you can go back and tell different stories in between. So.
Yeah, I do love Hannibal just the way it is. I thought it was a perfect 3 seasons. I love the way it ended, because I like a certain kind of ending, and that is the way a movie should end. I dig it. Kind of like the next movie.
But that got canceled. Don't forget that. I mean, they wanted to do a 4th season, and they wanted to do Silence of the Lambs, but at the time they didn't have the rights to it.
I know they had Clarice. It was supposed to be another show called Clarice on some other station.
Yeah. So, but whatever. Whether they do or not, don't matter.
Right. But it's on Netflix, so everybody watch it. I don't know if it's on Canadian Netflix or not, but if not, too fucking bad. Okay.
It was filmed in Hamilton, right next door.
Oh, well, there you go. I'm still bitter about The Last Dance, but we have it now, so it's okay. I'm not mad.
I like the hand cream. I love the way that Hannibal sort of just, basically calls out to Clarice it's time to play again. Leading it with the hand cream and the shops, and I mean, it's just really.
But imagine having to live your life like that. Like you see the scene where he's being spied on, but he doesn't know it yet, and he is holding his glass with his napkin, and he's wiping everything down after he leaves.
Yeah,
it's like he knows he can't leave a trail of anything. I'm assuming we're under the assumption at this point he doesn't know he's being watched. I could be wrong though.
Well, Verger gets the X-ray in the mail. Then obviously Clarice gets the letter with the letter that she gets with the hand cream. So I like that it's very playful in the sense that Hannibal's like, it's almost bored a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's free, but he's bored. Right.
Yeah.
Better than being incarcerated, but there's no thrill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Perfect.
But I dig it. Ultimately, you have to suspend your disbelief more in this movie than any other one.
Yeah, there was one thing I was confused about at the end. She's saying something about having something to trade with Lecter. Was I hearing that right? What is she talking about? She's offering to trade something. I don't know. Maybe
Clarice was?
Yeah, when she was all drugged up or something. I think.
I don't remember that part. Damn it! I remember him telling her.
I don't either.
I much prefer you the way you are. I remember.
To Verger.
Yeah. He said that to Verger. That's right. That's why I wrote it down. Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, I bet you wish I was dead now or something. He's like, no, Mason. Yes. I much prefer you the way you are.
Yeah. Great.
That what a line. Yeah. Awesome.
And I got used to it.
Pigs.
The first time they showed Verger talking, I thought it was a little hokey. Like his face looked rubbery and this and that. It was a little too horror movie hokey. But by the end of the movie, it didn't bother me anymore. Just when I first saw him, I go, remember that one movie we saw, Red Christmas, and they had the reveal of the guy's face?
Cletus?
And I said it was, yeah, Cletus. They took it too far, that someone deformed wouldn't really look that way, look like an alien. That's kind of the way I thought of Verger when he's first on the screen.
Look at Christian, he's happy over Cletus.
But I came around on it.
Fuck Cletus.
By the end, it was normal.
I like Cletus, just not that reveal. But man, yeah, I can see that, Dave. Again, I remember loving it right from the get-go because I'm like, holy shit, they're not holding back. Like they're not. Right. This one is a lot more visceral comparatively to Silence in a different way. Silence was more, I guess, coming from a scientific standpoint almost, and this one was just laying it out for you.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
But that's why it's horror. Seriously.
I can't believe I forgot this. Does Ray Liotta, do they show him die at the end?
He pulls him into the kitchen and you assume he kills him.
We don't know.
Because wouldn't that be great if he comes back and he's just like, he's got that salad bowl in his head like in Silent Night, Deadly Night 3? The sequels that we could do for this movie.
You're right. Boy,
I got a job for you, Starling. Can you file? Yeah. He's still being a misogynistic prick, even as he's dying.
Can you dictate? Can you take dictation? He said.
And the way he laughs, like that.
He is great. He's
fantastic. He's such a great actor. He's such a prick in this, though.
Yeah.
And she's onto him. He gets mad at her when she's like, not only do I think I'm being set up, but I think Krendler here is in on it. And I think he's feeding information to Verger, which is literally exactly what happened in the scene before. And he's like, "What are you talking about? You're lucky you're not, you're not under oath, or you're not giving an official statement or something."
Right. And then he defends her on camera. Let me just say that I have a great relationship. I've known her and this and that, and I don't believe that these accusations are correct. You know what I mean? He's like on her side publicly.
He's Chilton in this one.
Yes, he is the Chilton. There is one question I have, and that's it. That relation. How come she says in the gym anytime, no pads? When he's hitting on her, he says he wants to hook up with her. You remember I told you to go home to your wife, and this because you're so mad because I turned you down. I said you go home to your wife. When fucking when Ray Liotta's character
he wants to fight him.
Yeah, he wants to fight him.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's simple as that.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wants to fight him.
He goes, "You want to go? You want to go?" And he's like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
In the like.
Don't forget, in Silence of the Lambs, they show the scene where they're doing the boxing training.
I get it now.
Yeah.
I pictured fucking having sex.
No,
Okay.
And if you are Ray Liotta fans, I just wanted to add, if you're really Ray Liotta fans and you want to see him go all Nick Cagey, rent Turbulence or watch Turbulence. If you've ever seen that,
I will.
It's a plane. He's like a maniac on a plane, and it has Lauren Holly. Remember her from Adventures of Ford Fairlane and other movies as the main girl in it. Crazy movie.
I'll check it out. Turbulence. Nice.
I think I've seen Turbulence. I just don't remember it, but cool.
I myself have not.
Oh, God.
I'm kind of interested in seeing where you guys come in on this one, because it doesn't sound like anybody's been really negative on it. It's not Silence. It's its own movie. It's its own identity. If you're comparing character to character, I could see you being a little disappointed. I mean, I think Anthony Hopkins does a great job reprising and continuing the role. I mean, and Julianne Moore is Julianne Moore. Like you can't.
I was gonna drop it a half a point from what my rating was last year when I watched it, because I rated it on Letterboxd. But you know what? We talked about, and you know what? There's enough good in it where, you know what? I'm not even gonna drop it. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna go 7.5, but 8 out of 10. I mean, I still really like it. It's just, I mean, it would have been epic had the connection between Clarice and Hannibal been a little bit stronger. But it does build, and I do think in the final 20 minutes it's at its strongest, from the moment he breaks into her house and sort of, you know, from that point on. The carousel scene is good, even though I don't love the run around the train station, the carousel scene, and then, of course, dinner and you know, the showdown at the fridge.
I'm 8.5, man. I'm 8.5.
Wow.
Well, because I love the stuff that I love about this movie. I love, and I just feel like it's a little long for its own good. But again, is that an argument? I mean, I feel like it's a cop-out argument. We've been using that.
No, it is. It runs about 15 minutes too long. I agree. I kept checking that. I'm like, it is a little long. It runs a little long in the fake tooth.
Nice. Wow. Well, I am 7.5.
Yeah.
So
that's I almost came.
We know you are, Dave. But what do you give the movie?
I'll give it a junior. Yes. Awesome. Good shit. So Hannibal, right on. One more to go, folks. One more to go. The controversial and often shit on Red Dragon.
Is this movie shit on?
Dude, people don't like it.
You know why? Because they're the Manhunter fans love it, and they're the ones that actually love the portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in that film more than Anthony Hopkins. That guy underplays the role in Manhunter.
Brian Cox?
Yeah.
I love Manhunter. Like I said, it was my number 186. And guess what? I fucking love Red Dragon, so I'm going to introduce it right now.
Last time I watched introduce it and then we'll talk. Sorry.
Red Dragon, 2002, directed by Brett Ratner. A retired FBI agent with psychological gifts is assigned to help track down the Tooth Fairy, a mysterious serial killer. Aiding him is imprisoned forensic psychiatrist Dr. Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter.
Let me tell you something.
Sorry, you go first, D. Sorry.
I've been waiting for the opportunity to say this. Manhunter is like fucking Black Christmas to horror fans. It's in the same thing. The reason people blow fucking Manhunter horror fans is the same reason they fucking blow and elevate Black Christmas, because it's one of those fucking unseen gems that only horror fans know about. So let's make it fucking better than it is. And let's tell everybody, oh, you like fucking Silence of the Lambs and Red Dragon? You have to see Manhunter. Same thing. Oh, you like Halloween and Friday the 13th? You got to see Black Christmas.
I had
let me tell you what.
No idea.
There's a whole I was going to go on this thing about it, the way people blow it, because they want to come off as the fucking the in-the-know horror fan, and we have something that you guys don't know about. But it's the same thing I said about Black Christmas, why it's held in such high esteem. It's the same thing here. People make it out to be a little better than it is. And last night, coincidentally, I saw this on Facebook. Somebody posted this. Can you read that?
Yeah, I could read
Okay,
it.
now hold on.
It says for the people on audio, it says it was a picture of the dude Cox, I guess his name is, I don't even know his name, that played a Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter, and says, unpopular opinion, Dave's favorite thing, Manhunter is better than Silence of the Lambs.
Now, let me continue on. Look at what people say below her.
Agreed.
Agreed. Let me come over here. Now read these things. See?
Agreed. I agree with everything. I agree. I personally prefer Manhunter. Always have preferred Manhunter.
Yeah. You see what? Everybody up the fucking Manhunter's ass. You know why?
Should I hate Manhunter now? Because
no. I like Manhunter, but I'm not going to say it's obviously nowhere near a fucking Silence of the Lambs, and it may or may not be significantly better than Red Dragon. That's what people talk about this movie.
It's the same fucking movie as Red Dragon. It's literally the same.
Except for the ending. There's a lot of things different. They wedge Anthony Hopkins into Red Dragon way more than they have the Hannibal Lecter character in Manhunter.
Yeah, that's true.
And I because that's the draw. But Manhunter, I've rated, I think, an 8.5 in the past. I love it too, man. It's a great movie.
It was my number one. I think I gave it a 9 or a 9.5. I love it, but that's because I love William Peterson as Graham. I love Brian Cox as Lecter. Look, I love Mads Mikkelsen as Lecter. I think this is the only franchise of films and TV shows that has had 3 different actors playing the same character, and I think they've all done a terrific job. Brian Cox, I mean, it's a very small part, but he's a terrific actor, and he does a great job.
I agree, but do you see what I'm getting at? It's the same. It's just like the Black Christmas thing. It's when these people that are all horror fans and all in this club of ours all elevate something because it's ours, and we have something that you guys in the fucking mainstream don't know anything about. You want to blow these slashers? Check out this one. It was the first and it's the best. Black Christmas, 10 out of 10, when it's really not. Same thing with fucking Manhunter. Oh, you like Silence of the Lambs and this and that? Guess what? You're really missing out on this fucking. You know, I'm all fucking highfalutin. I'm a fucking horror hipster. Look at this.
Well, I mean, the movie came out and it bombed. The movie came out and bombed, and that's the reason why, because it was rediscovered on video, and then found a cult following. And
dude, I didn't know about Manhunter until I was much older. Until after I'd seen The Silence and all that, I was like, oh, they did a version of Red Dragon in the '80s called Manhunter. I was like, oh, cool, I'll check it out. I loved it, but yeah, I don't pretend to be like, you got it. Fuck, what do I give a shit?
See, people do that now, and that's
Silence of the Lambs is my favorite horror movie of all time. When people ask, that's my number one pick, and it's probably the most popular horror movie if you consider it a horror movie of all time. So, right up there with Jaws and Exorcist.
And Shining seem to be the ones that pop up. Those 4.
But I mean, not many people say Silence of the Lambs because here's a movie that won 5 Oscars, won the big Oscars, won Best Picture. They're like, that's not a horror movie. Fuck the Oscars. Fuck you.
I know what Dave's saying, and that's horror fans. That's the same thing about the fan that hates every fucking movie that comes out and the fan that can't hate any fucking movie that comes out that I talked about earlier. It's always the same. There's, and again, maybe we're the assholes that have to put, but it just is like what you like and fucking don't like what you don't like. It's as simple as that. Like
right on.
And then, but it's that is it. There's this, and you know what it is now? Now they've got a movie to compare to. Well, Red Dragon came out with Anthony Hopkins and whatever, but there's a much better version that was already made back in the 80s. Fine.
Right.
So you prefer it. Who gives a fuck? First I think I had them on par. Then I rewatched Red Dragon and I was like, you know what? I didn't like it the last time I watched it. And then I watched it again for this show and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking the last time I watched it? This is great.
It's fantastic. I think both Manhunter and Red Dragon do a great job of casting Dollarhide. You got Tom Noonan in Manhunter and Ralph or Ray Fiennes, however you want to pronounce it, in this. And Ray Fiennes is fantastic in this.
To this cast.
The cast is phenomenal. Philip Seymour Hoffman as Freddie Lounge. Oh. You got a great connection with Norton as Will Graham and Lecter. This is the Clarice from Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins connection with Norton and Hopkins.
And the movie doesn't just shift gears.
Harvey Keitel Crawford is terrific.
Dude, that fucking Mary Louise Parker, who I fucking adore.
My dad's in love with her.
I'm in love with her too.
Yeah.
And again, the criticism of Manhunter is the switching of gears to the killer halfway through the movie, where the movie kind of changes its identity, if you will.
I agree.
It doesn't necessarily do that.
Sorry?
So I was just going to say, I don't think Red Dragon does it to that degree. I think
I do.
You do? I see. I don't.
You know why?
It shifts because that's how the story works, but I still think it works better here.
Let me explain the difference between this and Silence. Like, this is what they do in this part 3, what they do in all the part 3s. They try to bring it back to the original. And they do a good job in some of the exchanges when Hannibal's in there and they go and they see him and they do. It's typical part 3 stuff, which is good. And I like that. It's the third entry of the series and they do what they do. But this is what they did wrong in the third act. You don't see Hannibal at fucking, I don't want to say at all, but I remember watching the movie for about 25 minutes when we were into the Dollarhide story, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to Hannibal Lecter? He is gone. When we watch Silence of the Lambs,
Red Dragon?
it's much like, yes.
Because he was never meant to be. They wedged him into the movie more than he's, I think, actually in the book. For sure.
I get that, but I'm there to see Lecter. What I'm saying is this.
Okay.
When you watch Silence of the Lambs, just like with Saw, and I said on the Saw movies, the ones that I love, they have a perfect back and forth. A little bit here, a little bit there. That's what they did with Silence of the Lambs. And honestly, that's what they did with Hannibal, too. You have fucking Clarice, you have Verger, and you have fucking Hannibal's story. In this movie, it was back and forth for a little bit. But then in the second half of the movie, Hannibal is almost nowhere to be found for long stretches. And
I love that, though.
I found myself
I'm
missing.
fine with that. I'm fine with it.
But this is the fucking Hannibal movie. I don't care all that much about Dollarhide to the point that I just want to fucking focus on the fucking Tooth Fairy. Did I spend that much time with fucking Buffalo Bill? And I liked him too, but I don't give a fuck about. Let me rephrase it. It isn't that I don't give a fuck. It's just that I want more of Hannibal Lecter. And I thought
I can understand wanting more, but this isn't Hannibal's film. This is Will Graham's film.
And this movie, remember, this was a series of books, as you will know. And this book, it's not like this was the third written book. This was the first written book with the Hannibal Lecter character. So what they did was they actually wedged in more for people like you so that you would be like, okay, I got enough Lecter now. Whereas before it was like, I think, one sequence. And now they scattered it.
It's like I keep saying, people buy the ticket to see the main event. They want to see fucking Anthony Hopkins on the screen.
But I respect him for that because then otherwise it turns into Freddy. Not that he would have turned into Freddy. Then you get, oh my God, they like him. Let's put him in here and there. And now he's going to razzle dazzle. Then he becomes Bugs Bunny. Now, I'm not going to say that they would have done that with this character because this is a high-class version. But I'm just saying by pulling back, it's almost like they're still respecting the source material since it is Red Dragon, named after the book. But they know that they've got the popularity of the Hannibal character that we want as fans, so they sprinkle him in a little bit more so to appease us.
And the Graham Lecter relationship is great, but it's a lot different than the Starling Hannibal relationship.
Of course, it's different, but
it's not a love affair, so it makes sense why Graham would not want to go see Hannibal as much. He's terrified of him.
I get all that, but I'm just saying I wish they would have taken 15 minutes out of the fucking courtship of Dollarhide and the blind girl.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
I get the point of it after a while. I just give me the highlights of it and I'll get the point. I don't need to see I don't know. I just thought it was a little bit too much. I would have preferred 15 minutes of that taken out and put in the beginning of this where we see Hannibal get busted. I would have liked to see more build up and maybe show him killing the guy from the what do you call it? Who, by the way, I think is the same person they mentioned in the movie before, how he killed the guy from the orchestra. He killed to make him sound better.
Yeah. This may be the quote unquote unpopular opinion. Now, hear me out because I'm going to say from a story structure, I think this is one of the best story of the three. I think the movie Silence of the Lambs is the best movie.
Yeah,
it has the best acting. It's got the best dialogue. But this is the best story. Like my wife said it when she was watching me watch this. She says, "I wish I didn't have to go to work because I would have loved to have watched this with you again." She says, "What a story!" And she's right. It's constructed so beautifully, and what they left out of Manhunter, what they brought back in here is that whole relationship of him getting in the head of the killer and then using that psychology against him at the end again. But the whole time of how does he know about all these people, the ins outs of their houses, and the fact that he works at this video editing place and
that stuff is great. I agree with that.
I love all that shit.
I do too. I love the investigation. I just thought there was a little too much of the courtship. That's it. I think some of that time would have been better served on Hannibal than some other aspects of the story. That's all I'm saying. I'm a Hannibal mark, I guess. I want to see as much of him, but
you're a Hannibal fanboy.
Maybe I am. Maybe I don't want to see fucking what C says. I don't want it to go a Hannibal. I wouldn't want to see it go where it's forced in, and then it does become fucking. It becomes a critique of the film that they just wedged Hannibal in here to have him. So I guess
I love the way it opens with him at the harmonic, him seeing Benjamin Raspail playing horrible, and then cutting right to the dinner, and the woman like, what's this delicious amuse-bouche?
Yeah,
it's like, if I tell you, you wouldn't even try it.
It's great.
And then when Graham shows up, and not only does he figure out, the actual profile and figure out that they got it wrong, he questions Hannibal. He's like, there's no way you wouldn't have known this.
Yeah, basically. He's like shocked at...
I'm just a human. I can make mistakes.
Yeah,
whatever.
And then, of course, the stabbing and him talking him through it. You're in shock now. Let it just drift away.
Oh.
You're feeling warm. Just let it happen. So such a great scene.
It is great. It was a shock of an attack too. Like I forgot that it happened right then and there. For some reason, I remember that happening later in the film, but no, that's the beginning of the film. That's how we kick things off. And did you notice when he was looking at the menu, it said sweetbreads, and somebody brought up sweetbreads in one of the earlier films. Do you remember that coming up in discussion? How they ate sweetbreads?
Yeah. I always want to try sweetbreads, but I
don't even know what they are. But somebody mentioned sweetbreads in either Hannibal or in Silence of the Lambs.
Is it like? I think it's lambs. Is it lamb's intestines?
Ugh,
that's haggis, isn't it?
Let me look up what sweetbreads.
Haggisusa?
Haggis, yeah, it's haggis. Well, while you're looking that up, that dinner sequence is great. But if someone said, if I tell you, you won't want to try it, I'd be like, you're damn right. Tell me what the fuck I'm eating, man.
People do that.
It's the thymus gland or the pancreas of an animal.
Nothing bread about that. I hear sweet bread.
I'll stick with my sourdough.
Nice. No, I knew it was.
I knew it was something. Cinnamon roll.
I knew it was something intestinal. And how about the opening credits? The music, fantastic. The newspaper clippings. I just a big step up from Hannibal.
Well, this is Simpsons dude.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, Danny Elfman. It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, he's very tiny. He's very tiny.
Danny Elfman does everything, man.
He's so tiny too.
Shut the
for being
fuck
an
up with
Elfman.
this joke. Try to talk right over it.
Elfman on the shelf, man.
The Elfman on the shelf.
200 deaths of Elfman on the shelf. Man.
Yeah, maybe he'll compose a soundtrack to that movie for me.
That's what you should do. Kill Danny Elfman in 200 ways and make a video of it this holiday season.
Yeah, perfect. You okay with this? Are you in or you out, Danny?
And this movie, unlike Saw 5, Ed Norton, Will Graham's external monologue to himself, talking through the case, makes sense. We were all supposed to. The Leeds family was supposed to.
You were the hero.
Leeds family.
Every time I say that line, I'm actually thinking of Toxic Avenger, of the drunk guy in the taco place going, "He was a hero." That's what I'm thinking of.
Toxic Avenger. That's your 10 out of 10 favorite movie of all time.
Right next to Goosebumps and Black Christmas 2019. You motherfuckers, you.
Yeah. That's it. That's the big three.
Everything with the investigation into the Leeds and the Jacoby family, when he revisits the house, when he's watching the tapes, when he's talking through, what happened to the pets, the dog, the cat, figuring out the tree where he cut down the limbs and carved in the symbol and all that. It's really horrifying.
Oh. And so well done. Again, he really gets into the mind of, and that's exactly why he didn't want to go down this route again. But it's great.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, look, after he captures Hannibal, he's retired and living in Marathon, Florida with his wife and son. And, Crawford comes to him because he needs him on this case. But Will Graham is essentially retired and retires again after this, which is why, it sets up perfectly for them to just go right into Silence of the Lambs.
What a great scene with, he goes, you had some certain disadvantages. He goes, what was that?
You're insane.
You're insane.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was good stuff.
It's great. It's a great line. I love that line.
Definitely.
I can't believe, Dave, that you're not as intrigued by. I love the house he's in. I love how they're telling him that again, the backstory of having the grandma, the fucking horrible grandmother,
fantastic.
just threw
I'm into
overdubs.
that. This is what you're misunderstanding. My thing is the courtship. It was too much of it.
With
I
Reba
didn't
Dollarhide?
all of the fucking courtship of Dollarhide and the blind girl. I know why it's there and it's necessary for the plot. Yeah. I just thought as I was spending too much time with them, I was getting a little bit bored by it. That's all.
I can understand what you're saying, but I love the fact that it builds from like sheer terror of him being touched, like the way he cringes when she first touches him, like he's so ashamed of himself, even though like he's a tall, fit, like decent looking guy, and like, but like he hates himself. He's got such dysmorphia because of the abuse, and eventually it builds to the point where he ends up with her. And he sleeps with her, and they have a great time, and he's actually falling for her, and he's conflicted, and he says she's nice, and that he likes her, and no, you can't have her. He doesn't want to give her to the dragon, which is why he goes to the Brooklyn Museum and consumes the Blake painting. He consumes the Blake painting. I don't know if people think it's because he wants to become one with the dragon. It's because he's trying to destroy the dragon and suppress it. But
is that what he's doing? Oh, I thought he was trying to make himself stronger. Wow.
Yeah, I always thought that too until I watched it this time, and I'm saying to myself, he's actually trying to destroy it because then he says later on, it's back.
Good.
Because he wants to fall in love. It's almost like he wants to be rid of this.
He wants the happy ending with her, but but it comes back, the dragon.
Wow. Did you find that a little bit funny? Were you laughing a little bit the way how quick he was eating the fucking page? It is a little bit comical.
And just knocking out women every 2 seconds. Woman comes in, just fucking knock her right out.
I know.
Jack.
I wondered if he was wondering if there's any sweetbreads to go along with it, like just something to help wolf that thing down, because he was
something. I hear you,
dude. But the codes and the personal ads with him and Lecter.
Yeah,
that was good stuff.
Great.
Now, do you think they had the technology with the toilet paper? I love that sequence where like you got to feign like a power outage and make sure that you're going back into.
That janitor was over the top. God damn it! I want to quit my job.
Well, that's why Hopkins saw right through it. Hannibal's smart.
Yeah, Hannibal,
maybe if you would have downplayed it a little bit, it may have worked.
Well, he also knew because one of the guys who came out of the cell and pretended to be mopping the floor didn't push the latex glove all the way in, so he saw the latex glove.
Yeah, he did see the glove.
Yeah,
right.
but
Wes Craven dressed up as Freddy mopping the fucking thing. Every horror movie.
Do you think they had the technology though?
It was 2002. It's not like it was 50.
That's when the movie came out. This movie takes place before.
It takes place in the late 80s, probably.
Yeah, and they're doing like that 80s. Code on the toilet paper. There's you may think you got the upper hand, but I've got you. And then boom, boom, boom. I love what they've done there. I was just trying to think from a forensics or investigative standpoint. Is that shit?
This would be 88, 89 because it happens right before Silence starts. So I don't know.
It's a good point though. I didn't even.
Hey, at least they investigated, unlike Scream, where they didn't get any forensic evidence until the third part.
Why does Philip Seymour Hoffman, like, at first I thought he was turned on by when the dragon reveals himself. He's like, oh God, oh God. But he's terrified. But he comes across as like, I'm terrified, but totally into you at the same time, man. Look at those tats.
You leave the Hoff alone.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him.
He was a fantastic actor.
Dude, he was, and Norton was my favorite actor for a long time. And then he stopped taking roles that I was interested in. So, but for the longest time,
Norton doesn't do as much anymore. I heard he was difficult to work with, but he's such a great actor too.
Well, he directed a movie that came out right before COVID.
What did he do?
He directs too. So he directed. He's directed a few movies, and he directed one that came out and kind of bombed right before COVID hit. Irish something or other.
Right before COVID hit.
Yeah, that's his next movie, right before COVID hit.
No, what was the name of it for real?
I can't fucking remember now. Irishman something or other. Not Irish. I I'll have to look it up while you guys are talking.
Irishman, the Scorsese film. He directed the Scorsese film.
He directed it. He was a fucking poltergeist.
I want to beat the fucking pulp out of Poltergeist.
It wasn't Scorsese. Yes.
Scorsese is Hooper.
Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
It's
Tobe. He tobed them.
Well, he tobed them. He fucking tobed them.
Scorsese said to him, "You better tobe the line here."
Get the fuck.
Look,
How about the
Motherless Brooklyn?
What's that?
Motherless Brooklyn was the movie he made.
Oh, Motherless Brooklyn. No, I actually have heard of that.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be a good film.
It came out in the theaters, or it was like right before. I said right before COVID, but it was actually I think December range.
No, that's supposed to be a really good film. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard good things about it.
He directed as well as starred in it. So.
Oh, look at that. Double threat.
Interesting. Well, his roles in the beginning were great. He had like 5-6 roles in a row where he was fucking great. Then he did a couple
Primal Fear.
Then he did a couple. Yeah, dude, amazing. Then he did a couple rom-coms and something else and an action movie, and I was just like, eh. And then I fell out. And then but Philip Seymour Hoffman's another guy that right off the bat, him and Thomas Jane, both again back to Boogie Nights, same thing. Fucking, that's when I first saw them. And there's a
Twister,
Boogie Nights connection in the Hannibal world. What's that?
He was also in Twister, but Boogie Nights is where I remember him from.
Oh, I don't know shit about Twister. I saw it once maybe and was exactly what I thought it was, and it was whatever. But
Tornado movie?
The Boogie Nights connection. It's in the Hannibal trilogy. You had fucking
Hannibal has a 13-inch. Hannibal has a 13-inch tongue.
They call me Dirk Diggler.
Quid pro quo, Clarice.
Quid pro quo. Nice. But yeah.
Yeah, Julianne Moore. Yeah.
Julianne Moore in the last one, and Philip Seymour Hoffman in this one. Yeah, a couple Boogie Nights.
So many notes. Yeah, the Tattler.
You have so many notes. The Tattler. How about fucking Freddy in a saw trap? I never thought I'd utter those words, but that's what happened in this movie.
You are a racist. That's why I will glue you to this wheelchair.
Oh yes, that's it. That's the saw trap.
Well, and it was you went hot there for a second. I don't know what happened.
I went hot?
No, Dave, did you not sound like overmodulated for you for a second?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know what happened. It was weird. But yes.
Racists.
This is on my end. But yeah, that whole scene of him on a firing inferno being sent down. Oh.
I actually scene in Manhunter is also terrifying because it's done in the parking garage.
Yeah.
So I will say it's done really well. Here it's not as scary because he just rolls down the street.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
You're
that's
right.
down the avenue.
It's scarier in Manhunter, but it's still
It's also good in the show. Remember they did it in Hannibal, the show.
Yeah.
This is actually the weakest one of the three, if you think about it.
I agree.
But it's still cool. Anytime there's a guy in a wheelchair fucking being pushed on fire, don't be in a work of fiction.
Every time. So the three renditions of this.
Yeah, that's why they keep showing it. Obviously, people like to see it.
We're putting one in our movie. For no reason whatsoever, Braden's now going to be in a wheelchair.
Like in that one movie. Like on the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie, for no reason they had a fucking chicken on fire running through the fucking living room. You guys ever see that movie? Oh,
no.
Great. And then later on, one of the characters says to the other, he goes, "Did you see that chicken guy before? That guy was weird." It's for no reason there was a chicken on fire running through their living room.
What are you talking about?
The Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie.
Oh.
Did you ever see it?
No, I've never seen it, but I was looking at my notes and I look up to see a chicken on fire, to hear a chicken on fire.
Did the chicken stop screaming, Brandon?
You will let me know when the chicken stops screaming, won't you?
We brought this up earlier, too, about the horrific element of the films. And I did say that I kind of rate this on par because when you were with Ray Fiennes or Ralph Fiennes, that shit is horrific. It's horrific. Yeah. Like his stuff there. And when you're seeing like the glass in the eyes, the mirrored in the eyes of the family members.
You took off your gloves, didn't you? You had to touch him, didn't you?
Yeah.
He's a secretor.
Yeah.
I'm a secretor too.
That stuff is fucking freaky. But
no, it is.
Because we're focused on it. I still feel like Hannibal plays out more horrific overall, but then when you actually pinpoint these sequences, they're scary. Based on like him working at this video duplication company.
And I love because everyone thinks it when you see the scene when Crawford and Graham devised a plan to put in a false ad about the Tooth Fairy with Lowndes. I love the way Hannibal asks him about his first murder, because they killed Freddie Lowndes. That was a mistake on their part. You would have thought they would have had police covering Lowndes as well as Graham, but they didn't.
That's because they didn't like Freddie Lowndes. They pulled a fucking jigsaw. They gave him a chance, but they didn't really like him. And if he dies, he dies.
Yeah, that was kind of dickish of them, and I love that Hannibal calls him out on that.
He was pretty slimy. Again, so I'm going by what my wife said. In the book, he's really a scuzzbag. But in this movie, they do a good job. Like, his hair looks kind of greasy, and he's like kind of unkempt a bit. Like, if you really look at him,
he's much hotter in the TV show.
Indeed. I was going to tell you that.
Yeah,
I was going to bring that up too.
Oh, boy, it's a female in the TV show?
Yeah, it's a female Freddie Lowndes.
Huh.
And a real attractive one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep, female Freddie. She still is called Freddie, too. It's funny.
Freddie.
Yep, Freddie Lowndes. How about the other?
How's this for a wet dream? Sorry. Said female Freddy. I had to go with it.
There's another Saw comparison. Did you guys realize that fucking one guy is Detective Singh?
Yeah, Detective Singh.
Saw.
Sing Saw?
The one who cracks the code.
Yep. The one who cracks the code is fucking the guy from Saw. I noticed him right. I go, wait a minute. Of course, I had to double check, but I was like, I think that's fucking Singh.
That's where I knew the guy from. I'm like, this guy looks very familiar. Fucking this from Saw from a few weeks back. Like, wow.
He was also in the Sopranos episode. I remember him from that too, but, you know. Yeah.
He was looking for Danny Glover all throughout this movie.
I have no pity.
Where's Tap at?
That'd be great if there was a crossover. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I just think there was I don't want to spend that much time with my killer trying to fucking get a girlfriend. I think that's my one complaint. If I'm going to spend a majority of my movie with the killer, I want it to be like Joe Spinell. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see... Again, that's my one critique. I don't dislike the movie. I just wish it was a little less of this and a little more something else.
See,
just like with Hannibal.
You know, it's weird because you're right. This one very much ties in with Silence in the sense that Dollarhide is very much like Buffalo Bill, and that
they bring it back.
He's got a lot of dysmorphia about who he is because of his abuse. But I like the fact that overall, you know, Graham even alludes to it at the end that this monster wasn't born, this monster was made, which makes it even more sad, which is why I think they spend a lot of time with it, because you want to see the power struggle that he has with the dragon. I mean, him becoming the dragon is horrifying. That tattoo is fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You thought he was being turned on at first?
No. I'd say it's like he's walking that fine line of being terrified, but I pictured him as being the character from Boogie Nights, and then like see like Dirk Diggler going, "Oh my god."
He was doing that. He was fucking. He couldn't breathe. He was holding the boom mic.
Yeah. Oh. Just like Blind Girl was doing. Emily Watson, who's great in this too, and when she sees, you know that he's hung like a fucking horse because she's like, "Oh my god."
You're so hung like a red dragon.
It's breathing fire on me.
Is that your big throbbing red dragon?
That's where the title came from originally.
Oh, wait a minute. Why did they call him Buffalo Bill? And they said that he skims his humps. He didn't hump any of them. It just occurred to me now. He didn't do anything sexually with those girls, right? Didn't they say there was no sexual fucking touching? So why do they say he skins his humps? I don't get it.
Skinning your hump, it's like removing the skin from your catch. Isn't that the saying?
Hump? I thought your hump was a sexual thing. His humps.
No, I think your hump is like your catch. Like, I caught a pig. Now I'm gonna skin the hump.
Skim the hump is a saying. You thought you meant like skim the fuck. I fucked them, so now I'm gonna skin them.
I didn't know. Oh, okay.
And he only did it on Wednesday.
I'm looking it up to see exactly what's.
Oh, it's like that song, My Humps. My humps, my humps, my humps. My little lady lumps. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, hump skins.
Hump skins. When initially when I saw the movie and they said this one likes to skin his humps, I always thought they meant he sexually assaulted them. He humped them and then he skinned them.
Yeah,
Oh.
his lovely lady skin humps.
Sorry, I'm glad I brought that up. I never would have fucking.
I like the way Freddy's like, no, I won't open my eyes. I won't open my eyes. No, I don't want to see you.
You can't say that.
No, I won't.
Imagine how terrified you'd be if you were that girl at the end of the burning inferno of a house.
Holy fuck.
That would be fucking terrifying.
Christian, how about your opera Manicarino?
I was just about to bring it up, the Manicarino. He totally pulls a Manicarino. Although he uses, look at the brain on Brett.
He uses Ralph.
That guy's been in a ton of things. Pulp Fiction, Newsies.
What's the
Vacancy.
one with, the Jennifer Connelly one?
Oh, Career Opportunities.
Career Opportunity, yeah.
Oh. No problemo.
Where she gets to ride the horse hump.
Yeah.
Ride the
Everybody
horse.
remembers that scene because that scene, everybody's like, wow, she hasn't aged at all. Because at that point, you figured it felt like it was like 10 years after Labyrinth or anything else, and she looked like she was 20 still.
Yeah.
I guess she wasn't much further off. She was probably only like 24.
She still looks good though today, and she's like 50 and she looks good.
Yeah. Anyway.
Unrelated, have you guys ever seen The Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yes.
Okay.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's in that too. Yeah. Great movie.
Great movie. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just wanted to put it out there because it is a great movie. Anyway.
Great fucking movie. So anyway,
because Freddie, remember he was calling him because anyway, whatever.
Oh my God. I just love it. I love it. Tell me when you're watching that you don't think is he half getting turned on and half terrified out of his fucking mind. Because really, at the end of the day, he's just flexing his muscles and showing off his tattoos.
But I feel like he probably put something up on the screen too.
On the screen, really?
He probably flexed and then put up some images on because why would he need the projector for the light? I mean, yeah, I feel like maybe he put up some images of like what he did to his victims or stuff.
Yeah, the mirrored-eyed images. Those are pretty intense.
Oh.
Those are gruesome, man.
How about Hannibal kept asking for him? That was good. That was a nice little thing.
Oh, that's what I wanted to mention. The little Easter egg. Do you see the drawing in Hannibal's cell? It's of the place in Florence where he's in Hannibal, where he's conducting, where he hangs Potsy and everything like that. There's a little there's a diagram on the cell wall in there when he goes to visit him. And I can't remember the name. The Italian in me is totally forgetting, but it's the building in Florence that Hannibal does the teaching later on and strings out Patsy and guts him.
Well, even in Silence,
really nice.
he's drawing everything. He draws everything from memory.
So it's just nice because this is like I figured that this was been put there as an Easter egg, knowing that that's going to be something that we revisit later in the series, even though the movie came beforehand. It's like for fans to find out. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
And again, another story here with the investigation where you get enough clues, the stuff with the bolt cutters and seeing the original door, and things change, and why wouldn't he know about that? And then you realize that he knows the insides of the house and connecting it to the tapes and all that. It's really some really clever stuff in here.
Oh, for sure. Again, it progresses beautifully, and the revelations come naturally. They don't seem forced, or like there's a big leap of faith into like, oh, come on, how did that happen? I think they do it quite well. Yeah. They keep you on board.
And Dave, I totally get what you're saying with a bit much of Reba and Dollarhide. I do feel like it's crucial to the film. Even the scene where you might feel like it could be cut out, where he takes her to see the tiger. I feel like it's very.
I'm okay with that. See,
it's weird.
I feel like it's earlier.
Yeah, not only that, I feel like it's a great scene because the way she puts her hand on Dollarhide and feels him, and then the way she puts her hand on the tiger, very similar, and they're both similar in that they're like these majestic beasts.
Right.
So it's very it's like a juxtaposition with the earlier scene. Really
maybe
well
just
done.
when they're hanging out. I don't know.
Well, I like when she's sitting on the couch and he's watching, the new family. Yes. That's terrifying.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's great.
That's like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer type shit.
Right.
It just it has like that vibe to it.
Well, he's planning. These are his plans for his next victim. Which is fucking great. Yeah.
No, it is great. So my wife came in and happened to be on the scene where it's one of the interactions with Hannibal, and she noticed this. I didn't really notice it right away, but she felt like it almost seemed like Hannibal was superimposed in the scene. Now, whether it was just the lighting choice they did or whatever, it's almost like he wasn't in the cell, and she didn't know if maybe they fucked up and it was a special effect or whatever. But I just didn't know if, based on your reactions, I don't think you guys noticed that at all. It just seemed weird because it didn't seem like he was physically in the shot.
In the version I watched, it was just Ed Norton talking to a tennis ball on a stick.
Perfect. You got the work print. Yeah. That's what they're thinking of using David Cox.
I'm gonna be looking next time. I'll tell you that much. I don't own this one though. I had to fucking do a fake, not a fake, but a Stars rental for the week.
I have Stars, so I was able to watch it on Stars on Demand. I don't own this or Hannibal.
I just got the 4K because I said it was on sale.
I didn't buy it. Yeah, I've just been not buying shit. But
yeah, me and C are fucking.
Yeah, I know, but then that's the thing. Like, there's. I don't even want to get into it because there's so many things. Like they have a new American Werewolf in London because I'm like, well, that Arrow one is awesome and it's one of my favorites, but it's $45 and there's a brand new one just got released last week, restored edition with all these special features. Nothing great. It's a studio version, but it's like $16 Blu-ray.
Yeah,
wait for the Arrow sale. Yeah, I wait for the sales. Everything's about the sale. When I buy an Arrow, I never spend more than 20, 25. You know what I mean? I wait for the fucking.
Don't be my pet peeve in the horror community. You know what my pet peeve is among horror fans and horror collectors?
Day one buy.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, this was just more that this was a better price for a movie that I love in still a good version.
Day one buy only applies to stuff like the Friday box set because you know it's going to sell out. But other than that, you don't need the movie right away. You can wait till it drops in price.
Don't even get me started.
We're gonna go off with day one buy. I hate day. Whenever somebody says day one buy, I just want to fucking go stab their ass.
Right? It's like when someone says whelp. It's probably just.
We'll be like, well, day one buy. Fuck you.
Yeah, they could say that too. Oh, so and so just been announced. Whelp. Day one buy.
I will go so far as to say I'll take whelp over day one buy.
I would take whelp over day one buy too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What am I looking at here?
I don't know. What do we have? Do we have anything else before we rate on this fucker?
Oh, I love when Lecter taunts Chilton about his rejection from the archives.
Oh yes. Yes.
Great scene.
I do like they brought him and Bernie back. I think that was great. Like
Barney.
What did I say? Bernie? Barney.
Yeah, we can have Barney's. We can have Barney's. We can have Barney's.
He's got all the fucking stuff.
He's got all the Hannibal shit. Like, this is just Hannibal stuff.
And they're just carrying around a dead Mason Verger.
Yeah.
Another Saw 7 thing.
Barney on one side, Cordell on the other, and Mason in the middle dead, and they're just dancing him around.
We can have Barney's.
How about that? Wow.
And look, it's really
real.
A Saw reference?
Yeah, another one. Barney sells the fucking shit to Verger, and fucking in Saw 7, the girl collects the fucking stuff from the dark web, the fucking shit. See, I'm telling you, the Saw people definitely fucking lifted ideas from here. It's a good place to lift them from.
Peanut butter, no jelly. Ham, no Verger. Wow. Sorry, when you said Verger, it made me think of Friday.
I can see that.
I can see. You can't see that. You can't see that.
You can't say that. Awesome.
Oh, God.
But yeah, all the stuff at the end is fucking great with the reveal, the tapes, and then he goes back home and the old switcheroo and the fucking mannequin Reno, and then the way he talks him down, giving him kind of.
Oh my God! Don't cry at me, you little faggot.
I know.
That whole sequence is great because again, that's not in Manhunter, and it's so well done, and it's suspenseful and it's crazy and just the level of intensity for a final sequence is great.
And everything makes sense because one, after the case was over, Jack gives him Dollarhide's journal, so he reads through the journal, sees the writings about how the grandmother spoke to him, and uses those exact words to talk him down. Perfect. And also, earlier in the film, after the first scare with the family, when Hannibal gives Dollarhide the address, he teaches Mary Louise Parker how to shoot. So the fact that, people might say, oh,
True.
how's he's teaching her.
Good call. Yeah.
So everything is perfectly wrapped up in a bow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Nice, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, how high are you guys?
You dirty little beast.
Yeah, you dirty little beast. Whatever the fuck he says. You're disgusting. The filthiest child I've ever seen. That's great. Oh, shit.
Well, it's funny. I don't have the pacing issue that I had with Hannibal, yet for whatever reason, I have this as an 8, but I enjoy it just as much as Hannibal. So I don't know why I wouldn't just go to the 8.5 that I gave Hannibal as well. So
why don't you do that, shit lips?
I'll do that.
Shit lips. I don't know where that came from.
Okay, pinprick.
Just because you're
the opposite of lip shits. That's why.
Yeah, shit lips. Just because he's saying how much he loves it, and he's giving it a lower grade.
Well, so then I went and matched it. You fuck. What are you at? You prick.
I'm at a 9 out of 10.
Wowzer, nice.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I love Red Dragon.
Well, I'll tell you what. I give it the same score, 7.5. Same score I gave Hannibal. I can't tell you on which day which one I like more at this point. So I don't know yet. I think they need a few more views, but there's pros and cons to both. Of course, none other masterpiece.
What a collection of scars.
Yes, indeed. Especially
don't forget who gave you the greatest one of all.
Exactly. Awesome.
And then that ending, just like that's so cool. When there's someone from the academy to see you. What's her name?
Oh,
cut to cry. Perfect.
Yeah.
So
perfect.
I love when they do that stuff in prequels. I'm trying to think of another instance when it happens. And
Rogue One did it for me. I like that. I loved when they did it in that one.
I got goosebumps watching fucking that shit.
You're right into like the new beginning.
You're right.
I New Hope.
Yeah, Roy. That's bad. I'll fake Darth Vader in the next movie. There should have been a fake Vader.
Darth Roy.
Darth Vader's still alive. That's what they should have done in the fucking last one when Palpatine came back. It should have been a fake Palpatine. Oh, they were fucking right, just like Roy.
Oh, this conversation's giving me heart palpitations right now.
Anyway, yes, good show. Anyway. Thank you, Christine.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, thank you very much.
Favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, pretty solid fucking trilogy.
Solid
trilogy.
Sure.
And I'm telling you, people do shit on
27 out of 30 for me.
It's fucking solid. Wow. Fanboyisms continue.
Jesus, what's going on with me? Oh, wait, next show.
Next show is the big one.
Oh, fuck.
Midsommar, Apostle, and Suspiria 2018.
Wow. Thank you for picking the longest fucking movies ever, even though I like most of these movies. Thank you for making sure the average runtime is 4 days.
I cannot wait to talk about these movies.
Dave, you want to record Midsommar review as a solo cast, and then Christian and I will join you for the other two?
Because Christian is going to have just as much to say.
I know, he's a Midsommar fanboy too.
Yeah, I love it. I just don't think it's going to be. I don't think our conversation needs to be as long as the fucking film. So I think we could still keep it in line. But yes, I love all.
Like our Red Dragon review was just pretty short.
No, not really. Not really. Yeah, I think we were both at 45 minutes, almost 45, almost like maybe 40 minutes for that. Yeah.
Either way, we went long, and we're going to probably go longer on the next show. And I have been waiting to talk about Midsommar because I have so many fucking inflections on this film that I don't think anybody's made. So
we're doing director's cut?
Gotta do director's cut because it's fucking amazing. It's so much better. It adds so much to the fucking characters of this film to watch the fucking director's cut.
I might Gordon myself.
It gives you all the reasons.
Have you only watched it once, Spirited?
What?
Have you only watched it once?
Once in theaters.
Okay.
Oh, are you serious? Dude, you might love the fucking director's cut at home.
We'll see. I've watched it 3 times. The director's cut once, the last time, so I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
Like 7 times. And
I need the director's cut. Someone's got to send it to me. I think you sent it to me before, Christian.
Yeah, I'll get it to you.
Okay, well, that's next show. We love you all. Thank you so much for the support.
Extremely long time.
Oh!
Sorry.
No.
Oh,
what?
Come on.
What? Say
you got to actually want to know. What is it? Oh,
no, I left a beautiful note out of Red Dragon that I just want to throw in real quick. Fucking fantastic house explosion.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic head explosion this episode.
Full house explosion this episode. Well, yeah, DJ Tanner just got blown out of the fucking house. It's a full house explosion.
Now that was worth saying around for.
Yeah, the Olsen twins.
DJ Tanner.
Yeah, they switched one of the Olsen twins with the other.
Okay, we love you.
Love you long time.
Long time.
Long time.
Yeah, you should say,